is Wednesday, August 24th, 2016. What's going on, guys? How are ya?
That was louder than I expected.
What was louder than you expected?
Oh, still louder than I expected. That's better.
There you go. It's your own audio.
Yeah, my own audio is burnt my ears out. God.
Yeah.
Ow.
There you go. Sweet tattoo, bro.
Oh my God, look at his tats.
Look at this guy. He's hardcore.
My mom's gonna be so mad, dude.
Yeah.
What is that? Is that some sort of like military insignia or something?
No, it's the fucking Illuminati symbol.
Yeah, bro.
It's the Illuminati.
Oh,
Look at. You can tell. Look. You can see
even...
the eye is represented in the center.
It says
there's 4 points.
Shill. That's what it says.
There's 4 points in it, right? So there's 3 points and 1 point, and so if if it's 1 minus 4, that equals 3, and that's how you know it's the Illuminati.
Yeah,
you can tell.
Good job,
does
Twerk
work out?
I can do the math. I can do the math. Well, post-game podcast. Post-GamesCom podcast is what I meant to say.
Post-game podcast.
Post-game podcast.
It is kind of post-game. It was like the big fucking event of the summer. That's for sure.
Yes, it was.
All right, so.
And biggest game of the summer.
Then we have another event coming up like really soon.
In a month. That's the Super Bowl.
Yeah,
this was like the first playoff game. That shit's the Super Bowl.
Yeah, I have quite a build up to it, so I'm like, I'm ready. But
feeling the haircut.
Oh, you like this?
Yeah, feeling the haircut.
Yeah, I had to get a trim. It was getting too long, and so. Yeah, why don't we talk about Mr. Twerk Twerkelson? And why don't you I don't know who that is, but why don't you let us know how the how Gamescom was and all that other stuff. In the meantime, I have one of your podcast or your vlogs up.
Yeah, so, Gamescom was fucking awesome. It was like the flight there was, it just started off like awesome altogether. Flight there, like we talked about it last week on the podcast, where like I'm sitting next to an NHL hockey player basically, which, you know, everybody knows that I like hockey. And then it goes into like, I love architecture and all that crap too. So like then that city was just beautiful.
All that crap. Vlog 17.
The city was just beautiful.
That's what you should call it. Just Vlog 17.
Yeah, I should have a Vlog 17 emote. Dude, I did that all with my cell phone. I did the editing, everything with my cell phone.
How difficult was it?
I was very impressed at the power that it had. It was pretty strong. I was very impressed with it.
Was it pretty straightforward to do?
Yeah, it was super easy. Like, I can edit a vlog in 10 minutes. The only problem was having the internet to upload it was kind of a pain in the ass. So it was nice to get the behind-the-scenes stuff. I'm pretty sure...
He was too busy playing Pokemon Go trying to catch that Mr. Mime.
I didn't play much at all, but when I did,
you catch
there's a
Mr.
part
Mime?
where we're walking by a group of all the people waiting outside, and I didn't have any sound, but I called them plebs right at the end there.
Seriously, did you get a Mr. Mime? They're EU only.
Yeah. It was good. So the story about Mr. Mime is we tried to go to the Twitch party and go to the VIP section because we're on the VIP list for being partners. They looked us up and down and said, "You're not on the list." And we were like, "What?" And they're like, "You're not on the list." And we're like, "Yes, we are. Check the fucking list." And they're like, "You're not on the list," basically. And we're like, "All right, we're not wanted here. Fuck you." And we left. So
is that serious? They didn't
that was
check the list.
serious.
Were you dressed inappropriately or something?
No, we were dressed appropriately. I was
dressed as Trixie.
No, I was dressed very appropriately. And
very drunk?
Not yet. We were trying to get drunk. And yeah, it was really lame. So they were kind of being dicks. So DJ went back and tried to like say like, "Yo, what's up?" And they were like, "You're not EU partners, so you can't get in. It's for EU partners only." And we're like, "What the fuck does that even mean?" So
it's global.
So yeah, but so then we ended up walking an hour home because we didn't want to take a cab, and that's when we found Mr. Mime. So the night was like terrible, and we were super pissed. But right at the end, we found Mr. Mime. My phone had 1% battery, and we caught Mr. Mime with 1% battery. That was pretty awesome.
Good job.
So yeah, there was like a Half-Life 3 confirmed sign there.
That was beautiful.
There was a tomato on your plate.
Yes, with a Canadian flag on my
Half-Life
my
3
burger.
sign.
Really? There was a
Yeah.
Canadian flag on your burger?
They put a Canadian flag in my burger, and I asked him
Yes!
why.
It's because
he's-
they thought you were Canadian.
Yeah, and the waiter says he's from Canada, and dude,
Oh.
he was from not Canada.
He was from
anywhere
not
but Canada. That guy was from.
Yeah.
He was being a sarcastic fuck. There's Toby Tej. You could see like a bunch
Yeah.
of people, that we saw. So it was a really good time. The I Stand with Sandy guys were there, or We Stand with Sandy.
Operation Pitchfork guys or whatever.
We stand
Yeah.
with Sandy guys. That's their
Yeah,
that's their
that's-
org
That's
now.
their new name. That's who they are. That's how they identify themselves.
Yeah, there was like Pyro and L was there. Like I can't name everybody, but there were so many people that I met.
Yeah.
But like Pyro and L, Supreme Tokyo, Ichiru UK,
Crash Academy. saw them a
Crash
few
Academy
times.
was all there. The really tall guy was Pyro and L wearing the Squadron 42 shirt.
Yeah.
That was Pyro. Who else? Brickstars I met. Ram 1313. Like, dude, there's so many people that I met. It's fucking crazy.
All the people.
Toby Tej actually does look like a polar bear. That's the best part. He is a
That's-
real life polar bear.
It's real life polar bear.
And he was super nice, yeah. So
That is him IRL.
Oh, that's cool.
That's not.
Yep.
That's not superimposed.
I am used to dank Germans now. It's pretty. It was just a beautiful city. It was a great city to walk around. It was a great time. It was awesome.
You met Super Mac Brothers, didn't you? Saw a
Yeah, I
picture
met
of that.
Super Mac Brothers. Ryan.
Yeah.
Ryan was cool as fuck. He can
He is.
drink, dude.
He
You
can.
UK guys can drink. I was struggling on like 2 beers. Ryan
Twerk's
had
always
2 beers before I had 1.
yeah. Twerk's always struggling on a couple beers though.
Mhm.
You're an easy drunk, which is nice
I'm an
though.
easy.
That's
It's
good.
great.
It's cheaper.
Great. It's cheap. Yeah, it's great.
Yeah. Why not?
Hashtag best date.
Best date ever. So yeah, it was just a great time. The streaming was fun.
And now you're back
Um,
onto a schedule which is enhanced.
I'm trying to stream a little longer, yeah. So like, my roommate was DJ Knight, and I was talking to him like, cause he's killing it. And I was seeing like his numbers and all the stuff that he does, and like, so we just talked about some things to get the stream going a little harder. 2010 was somebody else I met too. He popped in the chat.
Yep.
Just now. So like, there's so many people. So when I see the names, I remember. But yeah, I mean that was. So we just talked a lot, and one of the things that I was thinking about doing is on the days that I don't work is trying to go a little bit longer. So if I get tired of Star Citizen, switching games and keep going, you know? So
right.
that's kind of the schedule change. It went pretty well today. We had 19 brand new subs today. That was nuts. So thank you so much, guys. And we just got our 20th.
Oh yeah.
Somebody just subbed. I saw it earlier. Dalton Fury just subbed, so thank you so much, man. I appreciate
No
it.
one subs to me on the Twitch, do they?
But they follow.
Like-
We were just talking about that.
Yeah, we were
So-
just talking.
BoredGamer has
Let's-
1,300 followers on Twitch and has streamed like maybe once.
Yeah.
That's pretty impressive.
It's
Should
pretty
apply
good.
for partnership.
I don't stream. I will. I
If I
need to
prefer-
start streaming.
You
Like,
actually you
please.
probably could get it right away if I think at 100,000 subs on YouTube. If you come in with 100,000 subs on YouTube, they'll just give you a partnership right away. You don't even have to prove it.
Maybe next year then. But I was thinking about stealing Twerk's Tuesday slot because he doesn't stream that day. I just vampire all his views, mate.
Go for it, bro.
Thanks, bro.
Just stream right on
Steal all
his
those
channel.
Tuesdays. Just stream right on top of me. Just do it.
Okay.
I dare you.
Okay. It's good.
I dare you.
Oh
One
man.
day, Twerk. One day. One day.
So what have you been up to? Bored, I guess we'll go to.
So I'm actually going away from tomorrow to I-58.
Yeah, you were talking
So-
about that
Yeah.
today.
So explain
so that's-
I-58 to those who don't know what that is, because I still don't really know what it is.
So it's the biggest gaming expo in the UK, and it's also a big LAN party. So they kind of combine the two. You bring your own PC, you get very drunk, and you play computer games. That's the idea. And they
Gotcha.
run this expo over the whole weekend, and yeah, it's really good. It's really good fun. I get to see loads of my friends, and we go up as 6 or 7 of us, and we just play games the whole weekend. But this time we're also doing a Star Citizen meetup, which just started as me just going, "Say, want to meet up for I-58," and then I talked to Cameron, who I met at BrisbaneCon, who's the new CIG events manager. I went, "Have
Yeah,
you got
he's
anything
really cool too.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's a good dude. And I said, have you got any? Does any of your guys are going to be around? And have you got anything I can give away or something to to attract people. And he was like, "Oh, come down and I'll bring loads of people. It'll be fun. We're bored anyway." Okay.
Nice.
So I don't know what it's turned into something I didn't intend it to, but it should be fun. It's just a lot of random people seem to be turning up now, so there's that. So I've just been getting ready for that and trying to get some videos ready, because obviously 3.0 footage, that's a YouTuber's dream. It's literally just me going,
Right.
look at this cool footage, and I can just talk and say, this is cool, this is cool, how
and you
cool
can
is
just
this? And people just go,
focus on one thing for an entire video.
Yeah. I mean, I haven't even
So many little bits.
I haven't even started talking about the pricing of ships and stuff, which is going to be a huge topic because Chris talked about that. We're talking about that in a minute. But yeah,
Sure.
just same old for me, really, just with more content, because Alpha 3.0 just excited me to my core.
Yeah.
So yeah, what about you, Saurus?
Right on.
I want to get to the meat of the matter.
Yeah. So for me, it's been pretty crazy week, actually. So obviously I was still here in the Great Canada during Gamescom, and I I changed my schedule a little bit to stream right afterward, just to sort of show people 2.5 and stuff, because I know you guys were showing 241, and just sort
That was
of
a big
checking
advantage.
everything
That
out.
was really good.
It was a huge advantage to me for not being there. So I actually really enjoyed it. The channel, we actually got back up over 500. We're at 525 subs now.
Congratulations, dude. That's a really big deal. So
That is a really big deal.
You didn't
It's a
see
really,
the
really
sub
big deal.
train. The sub train was real.
The sub train has been real for the last couple days.
It's
So
awesome.
that means that I was able to switch out some emotes. And because we've had all those emotes for such a long time, I could kind of tell what ones were being used and what ones weren't.
Yep.
So we got rid of like the rude emote, and don't worry, like those ones aren't gone forever. I just put them into the better Twitch TV stuff, and I brought in emotes that people could use that make more sense to use everywhere else, like my stupid face. So like the creep and the champ face are in, and the high, and I replaced the gray Saurus emote with an updated colored one. Yeah, so there's that, and then I started and I played Dungeons and Dragons on Monday for the first time ever, and it was a ton of fun. We were playing.
It looks fun.
Yeah, so I have video up of it right now. It's on Stacy's channel, and we're gonna do it every Monday at 6 p.m. And the first one we did 2 hours because they were worried that they wanted me to be back for 9 o'clock, but I was like, well, let's just do it all night because this was really fun. And so we'll go to like 10 or 12 and start at 6. And I'm like, I'm more than okay with that.
Yeah.
And so it was super fun, just relaxing, having some drinks, rolling some dice, playing some games. And what's really cool
rolling
is
a couple dice, hitting the dice tables.
hitting the
Do you
dice.
remember my advice? Do you remember my advice, Saurus?
What's that? Don't roll low.
No. Before you went, I gave you some advice. Did you listen to my advice, or did you just go fuck it?
I'll tell you when you remind me what it is.
It was. You can act stupid, but not too.
Oh
stupid.
yeah. No, I didn't even act stupid.
Nah,
Yeah.
you seem like
It's
you
not
was taking
stupid
it pretty
enough.
seriously. I watched it a
Yeah,
bit.
no, I
was
wanted
serious.
to. Dude, I killed 3 things. We only fought 4 things. I killed 3 of them. So I'm the farmer paladin.
Shopkeepers.
But what's
farmer.
cool is it directly parallels Stranger Things, right?
Mike Kai puts in the chat. Now I know why it was fun.
So if it's if that's something you're interested in, definitely check it out. I'm gonna put the channel in chat. And we do that we're gonna do that every Monday. So really looking forward to that, and it's cool that it's something different that I get to do, and get to be drunk and not have to worry about OBS and all kinds of other crazy things. I can just go there and play the game,
Guys, how about that long sleeve WTFO shirt though?
How about that
I'm gonna
baseball
have to make
tee?
another purchase, man. That thing's pretty sick.
Dude, it came in.
I like
was
it.
Really, it came in as I left. I was like, oh, my neighbors put it on the washing machine, and so I got that, and I got the LED lights, and I was like, oh, what is this? So I bring it with me. I'm like, we're doing an unboxing on the way over. So I open it up, and I'm like, oh yeah, it's this, and so I put it on, and I really, really liked it.
The stream
Cool.
looks a little bit, Saurus, like you've gone for like cocktails with the girls. That's what it looks like to me.
That's what it is.
It's what
No,
it is.
don't
Hanging
get
out.
me
That's
wrong.
what it is.
That's exactly what it is.
Yeah.
With some dice.
That's what it is. It's some dice.
With dice.
Yeah, you don't even see it's that big giant one in front of Stacy. That's the one
Oh,
she
that's
was
the
using.
dice?
Was that using that big giant blue D20?
That thing is huge.
Yeah. But we're gonna add some things to make it even more interactive with the show. I've been looking up some stuff so people can influence the game more than just the potions and things like that.
Oh, nice.
So yeah, just sort of get that interaction in there more. But the story's really cool. It's based in like the 1890s and stuff. I don't want to give too much away, but
it's like Stranger Things.
I'm
as well.
into it. Yeah, it took a little bit.
Did you say 1890s or you meant 1980s?
1880s. Sorry. So it's 100
but
years.
It's Stranger Things.
Yeah, but it's 100 years before the 1980s because they didn't want it. They didn't want to do it the exact same.
Parallel.
It's parallel. Yeah. So
okay,
there
I see it.
no technology yet. So the reason they didn't want like military to just show up in choppers and stuff.
I see it.
Yeah. So pretty cool. It's really fun. But yeah,
is she taking a potion shot right now?
She
is. That
is.
What's going on?
Yeah. So she was healed, and for her to be healed, she needs to do that. And then every time I kill something, I have to take one of the green shots of the monster blood or whatever it is.
Nice.
Yeah. So
That's such a good idea.
by the end of the stream, I was drunk. It was great. It was great.
Dude, this looks awesome. We should do something stupid like this one day.
We could do some sort of sci-fi themed.
Yeah, let's do a Star
something like
Citizen
that.
one. There's enough lore out there. We could probably do something.
There is enough lore. We just need a GM.
So, if anybody wants to GM,
I don't know anything about this shit. So
I don't know anything either. But I do know that there's programs and websites and stuff you can use.
If we can
Programs
stream
and
at
websites.
CitizenCon, we should maybe do it at CitizenCon with us all together.
Yeah,
That'd be awesome.
that would be pretty funny.
That would be really cool.
So yeah, let's I guess jump into first off the sale. Well, first let's talk about the Anvil Terrapin.
Let's do it.
The Q&A is also out for it. Just
Yeah, I put the
I
link in
have
the chat.
Q&A in there
In
as
the
well.
doc. But so what do you guys think? I like it.
The Doom Turtle
but
is what
it's-
I've called it.
Yeah, a lot of people don't seem to like it that much.
Well, I still haven't read the Q&A yet, but
Yeah, that's what I kind of need is a little more.
I
of
don't
the
really
Q&A.
know what it is.
doesn't tell us too. The Q&A doesn't tell us too much.
I know it's armored. I know it's shielded.
Yeah.
I know
It's
it
an
has some
exploration
scanners.
ship. It's an APC.
Yeah, it's a heavily armored, primarily scanning exploration ship.
Yeah.
That's
So it's
basically
just
what it
another
is.
exploration ship, but with a different wrinkle to all the other ones. Like the
Right.
315P is, fast and luxurious. The beta is got, the little. It's like a little, van, basically like a, like a Winnebago, and then you go into the bigger ones, right? You get the Freelancer, and then so on. There's a lot of exploration ships. I think they're telling us that exploration is going to be like a really important part.
Well, so
They
seem to
know
be
they
doing this
needs to be an important
with-
part.
like they
Yeah.
did with the Prospector, where they've gone, we want a sort of like a low tier. I say low tier, and I'm using but run with me. A low tier ship that is the like staple for a role. So they've gone, what is a focused exploration ship that everyone will want to go to at some point if they're exploring?
Yeah.
The Terrapin.
I
Sort
do
of like-
want to just jump in really quickly just because Wayward Herald on our Discord, and if you want these things, you can join our Discord. Had from the Star Citizen announcements channel, there is going to be a new P2 build for today. So they've greenlit one. There is going to be a new P2 build for today.
That's nice. Cool.
So just a heads up for that.
Hopefully
Yeah,
it'll
that'll
be
be
a
2.5L.
a live candidate. Cross our fingers,
Hopefully.
man.
I mean,
K
the
wasn't
last
too
one
bad.
was actually pretty good. Even with
Yeah,
the,
K
the
wasn't
purpose crashes, the frame rate had caught up to 241, so that's good.
Yeah, my frame rate was good the whole time I played
Yeah,
this morning.
I
so
didn't
it
go
was
under.
strong.
I didn't go under like 20. I actually that's not true. I would load in and it'd be like 5 or 7 for a second, and then it would jump back up to like 22, and we're good. So
Yeah.
I think the reason, going back to the Terrapin,
Yeah.
because I can't think of more than one thing at once. My
We
head
can-
will
listen,
explode, sorry.
yeah, we can't branch off. BoredGamer just gets he tries to do both
focus
at the
out.
same time, and then he just strokes out a little bit, and then you see he's like looking off into space. Look, he's doing it now.
Who, me?
What are we talking about? No, board's out.
What's
Yeah.
that? What's a Star Citizen? What's...
What is a Star Citizen?
Anvil Terrapin. Anvil Terrapin. I've forgotten what I was going to say about the Anvil Terrapin. No, I haven't. I think the reasons that people are annoyed with it is because it's cool and it's super armored and everything, but because its main role is exploration and scanning, there are other ships that are either significantly cheaper, like the 315p, the Freelancer DUR, and then slightly more expensive, relatively, like the Aquila, that come with a snub fighter and a little truck, drive around on the Urza as well.
A little truck.
Only a bit more expensive. It's
just gotta honk the horn.
Its price is just really expensive.
Yeah.
And I just think, and I can't really see a use for it other than if they'd talked about it being incredibly military orientated and had give it a bit more guns and said you could remove the scan array off it and put some more guns there, I'd have gone, great. It's really small. It's a really small ship. It's a little bit bigger than an Avenger. You could have these running escorts for big carriers. I'd be like, that would be hilariously good fun because they're slow and they're a particular type of escort that's got like high stamina. But they're just, I don't really, their role doesn't appeal to me because I'd grab a DUR or I'd grab a Aquila or a Carrack, in fact.
That's the thing is that it's not in game. These other ships aren't in game. Exploration isn't in game yet. So you can't actually tell the differences between them. That's what's so frustrating right now about it, right?
They look different.
That's all you could do is, wow,
Yeah.
this one has a side door and it looks like the Millennial Falcon. Awesome, let me buy it. But like,
Yeah.
you know, like that's
Because we don't have those
unfortunately-
mechanics in.
Yeah,
It just makes it a lot tougher. Like,
big
what are
issue
the
with
differences
it.
in between the scanners on them? What are the differences in between the way that they're crewed? What are the differences in between the way that they
Well, the
find
crew you
things
could tell.
or whatever?
But you hit a huge point with what's the difference between the scanners, because that probably is the difference,
Yeah.
right? And that probably will be the difference.
And we don't know. We don't know how that plays
this
out.
definitely feels like more of a military version of an explorer ship.
And it was.
Yeah.
And that's what its role was. So that's where you get it from. Is this is the explorer ship if you're the pirate org. This is the explorer ship if you're the bounty hunting org, right? So I mean I guess we're working through it right now and figuring out what it actually is as we're talking. That's probably its role. You're probably not going to bring a freelancer into that fight. You're probably not going to bring your Carrack into that situation, right?
Yeah,
But
like is this
ship
for
you bring into it because it can get in, it can find stuff, and then it can get out without dying because it's so heavily armored. So I get it.
Yeah, it's
But
definitely very defensive.
It's definitely a niche. It's definitely niche.
I think it is also
too niche for me.
It's
well,
niche.
this is the other thing too, is I think it plays to a specific type of player style, and I think there's going to be different styles of play, right? Like this is something that it's like, hey, you know, if I cause trouble, I can still get out, and I don't want to fight. I just want to get in and get out and get away from it, right? Like if I'm going,
can you get out? Okay.
well,
so
with heavy armor and with heavy shields, I would assume that the defenses are there for a reason. There's like next to no weapons on it, right? So it's like,
okay, look at this. Look at it this way. You're getting interdicted, okay?
Mhm.
That's the thing. How does interdiction work?
we don't know.
What if your shields are still up? If your shields are still up, and then you can leave. Like that. That's the thing. There's so many mechanics not in. It's so hard to figure it out.
Yeah. But so I'm assuming with interdiction that basically something will be generating some form of interdiction field that you have to deal with or stop it doing that before you can leave. Like in Eve sort of thing. So I'm just thinking that it's hard to escape with this. Even if you've got the armor and you've got the shield, you can go in a direction, but maybe you are fast. You just got really slow acceleration.
Yeah.
It's again.
Who knows?
Like,
we don't know.
You don't know.
And I
we're
mean,
getting to that point with ships that it's going to start being like this, right?
Right.
If they keep putting ships in similar roles, it's going to be hard to tell the difference between them. That's a good thing when the game's out.
Well, we're getting to the point where we need to start to see those mechanics actually come in and get fleshed out, right?
Yeah,
and then we
think,
can start
I mean, that's 3.0, right?
revisit. Yeah, exactly. And we can start to revisit that.
They're preparing for it.
Oh, prepare yourselves.
Oh, prepare those titties.
I just wish it had like room for a vehicle or something in it. I mean, that would inspire me to use it more if it had like a little room for a rover.
But that's not its role. That's not its role. It's that military.
And is it confirmed? Is it
right,
is it confirmed it doesn't have room for a rover?
No chance. Look at
I
it.
mean, it's not confirmed.
Not like a full rover, but
it doesn't. I mean, it doesn't have room for an escape pod or ejection
yeah, that's
seat.
true.
Mate. You've got to jump out the side. Go, no, mate, we're bailing
Although,
out. What?
I don't know if you guys have seen
I don't even know if
this.
it could fit a Dragonfly.
Have you? No, I don't think so. Have you seen the cross section of the interior?
Yeah, it's quite small. It's interesting.
Yeah, you can see there's somebody on the scanner, and it has like 3 monitors. It's like it sort of reminds me of my computer setup. It's got like the monitors sitting here in front of the chair, but it's got something that holds them over
Matrixy?
with the scanner.
It's
Yeah, it's very Matrixy.
Kind of Matrixy.
Yeah, it is actually.
It is.
It does look like that room in its entirety.
Yeah.
It is
Which is pretty cool.
Yeah.
I'm looking forward to seeing how that kind of stuff's gonna work. Like we got bogeys at you know here.
Now, what was
like,
the crew of this ship? How many people? 2?
2.
Yeah.
It's 2.
Yeah. So
There's
one
I only
pilot
see
and
one bed also.
You can operate it by one. Well, you can share, can't you? Space gets lonely. It says it in Star Citizen.
Until you jack
Space
yourself into the
it's lonely,
Matrix.
but you don't have
Just
to
sleep in the Matrix, bro. Jack yourself in the
Matrix.
Matrix and then sleep there.
Not like this.
Yep. Dude, learn Kung Fu in 30 seconds. I know Kung Fu.
Show me.
More.
No, I think I get it. I get it, but it's niche.
It is. It's
like I don't think I need one in my repertoire because I don't
second-
plan on playing like this.
It's the second ship I've seen.
I'm really excited
just
for
want.
exploration, but this is stuff I'm gonna do in game. These are the kind of ships that I want to earn in game, personally.
Yeah, I think
bought
your
2
org
of these and
needs
gave them
these
away.
ships.
Yeah.
But that doesn't mean you need to buy them right now.
Right. And I guarantee you, if you're in any org over a certain size, you have these. Right? There are people who have them.
Do you think they'll have? Well, they probably will have. Now I want one again because I want to see what they're like.
Well, I'm gonna get one. Like that's the thing is every ship I get to show it off. So I'll melt and unmelt and do all that stuff to show things out when they come out. So I'll get one and hold on to it for a little bit, probably.
I like its thrusters. It's got those 4 quite big thrusters.
Yeah. Well, it's got to push that
Spin.
thing, right?
Yeah.
Push it real good.
I wonder how fast it'll be.
Well,
I think it won't be too slow. It'll probably be slow-ish, but not too slow. Its acceleration's going to be the problem. It's going to be really slow to accelerate in any direction.
Does it say any of that stuff in the QA?
It'll probably be like a Hornet or something.
No.
It did say something about having slow acceleration because it's a heavy bird.
All right, let's go through it.
There's no official cargo capacity. Yeah, let's go through it.
Okay, so let's go through the Q&As. So, is the Terrapin modular in any way? Can the center seat be removed to make room for cargo or other modules? Or see question below about cargo. So the answer was no. The Terrapin scanning station is plugged directly into the upper and lower utility mounts and provides the operational heart of the ship. So that's what the ship is basically built around. It's not the other way around. And as a military-hardened exploration and reconnaissance ship, its role is firmly in data gathering. So it's more of a data gathering, recon, and exploration ship. So it's a little bit of both. So what type of signature can you expect the Terrapin to give off? A medium-sized component has the potential to create a large signature for a small ship. In making it heavily armored, the ship just doesn't have the capacity to vent the heat as efficiently as pilots would want. So because it has all that armor, it's harder to vent that heat off, which makes sense. Revolutionary retracting armor allows the panels to lift apart, weakening the ship, but improving venting. Oh, so that's cool. So it like breathes.
It's a submarine.
So yeah, it can vent its outer armor and then therefore cool it down quicker.
Yeah.
But making it weaker. So that's kind of cool. And making it so it's, I guess it would be harder to come up on scanners.
All right.
Does it have an ejection seat for the pilot and or crew escape pod? No. The pilot and optional crewmen escape through the side door. Ejection seats tend to require a soft spot to launch out of, while many of the other fighters can perhaps below the canopy. Ships like the Terrapin cannot. Hashtag remember the Buccaneer. How does the Terrapin compare to the Freelancer Dur?
So here's a good question.
The Terrapin is tough as boots. It's designed to handle...
Isn't it nails?
This one says tough as boots. It's
boots don't do
designed
very well in space.
It's designed to be able to handle any eventuality in the dark unknown of space. From a military perspective, it's also extremely usable as a recon ship. Able to survey fleet movements and sustain a lot of direct fire, have discovered that Terrapin's secondary use is a way to insert or rescue people from combat zones is also highly appealing.
Interesting.
Sounds more like a heavy skirmisher than a recon ship, though, because when I think of recon,
It sounds like a scout ship. It sounds like a heavy military scout ship.
Yeah, like
is
a
what it
heavy
sounds.
scout.
Yeah, like something that go in first.
As a scout, though.
No,
Surely.
it needs to be able to protect itself. It doesn't necessarily need to attack.
And you might. The thing is you might see them before they see you.
Yeah. What will the
'Cause you have
travel
those
range
components, right?
be like on the Terrapin? Very long. The Terrapin packs a much bigger hydrogen and quantum fuel tanks to increase its operational range. It's designed to stay out in the verse for as long as possible. Can the Terrapin, as envisioned in the concept sale, carry any cargo? If so, how much? No, there's no official cargo capacity for the Terrapin. However, players that can put down cargo wherever they choose, allowing salvage to be dropped in the rear if they have the space for it. But in terms of like actual cargo space for SC units and stuff like that, it's not in there.
Yeah.
How maneuverable?
Like how they drop the boxes in the 3.0 demo.
Exactly. How maneuverable are you planning the ship to be in space and atmosphere? The Terrapin is heavy, solid, and therefore somewhat slow to accelerate. Turning takes time in both space and atmosphere. In combat scenarios, Terrapin pilots are encouraged to focus on escape techniques other than simple running, relying on the ship's defensive capabilities rather than trying to outmaneuver their opponent. So basically, just absorbing the hits instead of trying to S formation, just straight out kind of thing.
Yeah, and waiting for your friends to come.
Ultimately, though, advanced threat detection and avoidance is the preferred strategy for the most capable Terrapin pilots due to its superior scanning abilities. In storms and bad flying conditions planetside. Okay, let me just repeat that for you. In storms and bad flying conditions planetside.
Interesting.
Okay. Where increased maneuverability is needed to break orbit, pilots may wish to just lock the ship down and ride it out.
So you can hide in storms and planets. That would be amazing.
There's going to be
nuts.
storms on planets.
That's nuts.
Right? We hadn't really heard, like, we knew that there's going to be weather and stuff, but we hadn't really heard of, intense weather, like storms and things like that.
Yeah, can we get the sandstorm emotes in the chat?
Guys, please.
It's a good time for that.
Does the Terrapin have any docking abilities with other ships or stations? No, there are no docking rings on the Terrapin. You just have to go through the boarding ramp. Does the Terrapin have a bed? Yes, for long-range missions, the pilot could potentially be spending days, if not weeks and months, out of port. In fact, you can even see it in the far corner of the cutaway image.
One bed, 2 men.
Interesting.
You gotta preserve that heat
Gotta
on the
preserve
inside.
that. I know. You gotta vent the heat.
What do you envision?
Vents.
What do you envision will attach to utility hardpoints beyond scanning devices? Mining lasers, salvage claw, additional weapons. The utility mount fits equipment rather than anything offensive. Something we're going to be seeing more of as further support and non-combat ships are revealed. The Terrapin's radar dish and scanning array will enhance the range of the capabilities of the installed radar and scanner, making it far more capable than one without. But as utility gear is revealed, the usefulness of the armored utility platform, like the Terrapin, will grow. So basically they're hinting at this isn't the only thing that an armored ship is going to be good for, in that they'll let you know. The biggest thing out of all that to me is the storms.
Yeah, that was
for
cool.
sure.
And that last question, I think.
Yeah, no, it was definitely
that
good.
They plan on making the utility mount thing. Like the first time we've seen a utility mount is on the Reliant, right? But we don't have anything to place on it yet.
I'll tell you what I want for it. We talked about it being like the Nebuchadnezzar. We talked about utility mount. I want an EMP on the top of it. This ship strikes me as an amazing EMP ship.
Oh yeah,
that'd be cool.
It does, doesn't it?
Armored. You can. Your shields are down. Screw it. We're armored as hell. We wait until the shields get back up and fucking. That's what I want. Yeah,
there was someone flying around the other day with a warlock. I was like, it's so cool. It makes everything all blue and stuff. And it makes this weird sound like whoa, 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 whoa.
I love that ship, man.
Yes, so do I.
Everything shuts down. I think it should shut things. I think they still need to play with those mechanics, and they should shut down ships for longer than a second. But yeah, it's very cool.
We'll get it right.
I guess we can talk about the Explorers sale.
Oh yeah.
And so if you wanted to pick up one of those ships, by the way, the Terrapin is $195. I know we've given away a couple of them on my channel, and there may be another one coming soon. Hint, wink. Wink, wink.
Twerk making it sexy.
Oh, yeah. Anyways, so we have the package Exploration Mega Pack with LTI. And when any of the packages, I want to make this very clear, when any of the packages say they have a certain type of insurance and it only says it once, that covers all of the ships. So each ship in this package would have LTI. If it says 2 years or 3 years or 6 months or whatever, it's on every single ship within that package. Because I know a lot of people were asking me that were new to Star Citizen and didn't really know. And so in this, it's $895. It comes with the Terrapin.
I don't know how much you save with this. I might do the math real quick.
Do you want to do the math? So the Terrapin's $195.
I think it's $1,040.
The Dragonfly Black.
Oh, you got it already?
I think it is.
Okay. The Dragonfly
Close
Black
enough.
is $35. And then I don't know. The Carrack, I think, was $350.
Yep.
And then you have the Freelancer Dur, the Constellation Aquila, and the 315P Explorer.
Constellation was $325.
Constellation Aquila is $275.
$275.
Oh, $275. Yeah.
The Carrack was $350. Right? The Carrack is definitely the most expensive one out of this. The 315P, I think, was around 70.
65, I think.
65 or 70. And then the Freelancer Dur was like 155 or one, yeah, like around that 155 to 180 range.
All right, let me get the calculator.
So I guaranteed you'll be saving some money if you have most of these ships already.
It's
and going
$1,045. I was fine.
$1,045. So you're saving almost $200. Well,
Yeah.
$140 or something.
But with
Quite a bit of
this-
money, because you could split these out and upgrade them and stuff,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah, you can upgrade them separately. But the issue is, when you're getting packages like this, you're getting a lot of ships. And
You're also getting the Ursa Rover with this, right?
You might be
That
missing
comes with
out,
the
though,
Constellation.
on some gameplay.
I don't understand the point of having every single exploration ship.
Yeah.
Well, maybe
neither do
this is.
That's where
I
you're
think,
going,
I think.
right?
I think. Well,
That's
this
the point
is
you're trying to
what
make?
I think. I think this is for somebody who has an exploration organization, and that's what I think
Okay.
any of these packages are for. It's just if you have obviously you can only fly one ship at a time, right? Like for me, it's like, oh yeah, I have all the Drake ships, right? I can't fly them all at the same. I have 8 Dragonflies for myself. Obviously, those aren't for me, and I'm going to be giving those to the organization.
Yeah.
Right? I'm going to have 2 or 3 for myself, and I'll keep the other big ships for myself. But I'll be putting them in the organization for people to use for those that don't have those ships yet, and we need them out on the field for one reason or another. So if you have an exploration organization and you want to be able to send out people to different areas and do that stuff, then this kind of stuff will be useful.
I forgot that people had friends.
Yeah.
It's yeah. Okay, that makes more sense.
Yeah.
Yeah,
You
just
don't just
as
get
an
one.
individual, I don't see the point though.
So
As an
yeah,
individual,
right,
unless you already own all the ships, with the exception of maybe 1 or 2, and you want to get that 1 or 2, then it would make sense to melt those and get this.
Yeah.
So we know the Ursa comes with
so
the,
I just want to mention really quickly that even if one of those packages that you melt is a game package, because this does include both Squadron 42 and Star Citizen. Board, what were you saying?
Which ups the value on them even more because the other ships were always standalone ships, right? So
this is the
you're
first
making even
package
more
I've seen actually, this kind of size that has the game with it.
money. Yeah.
Pretty cool. But yeah, so the Ursa Rover we know comes with the Aquila.
Yep.
So is the Carrack going to get the Ursa? Or is it
No,
gonna
the
get its
Carrack
own
gets a
special rover?
Pisces.
Yeah, it's called.
No, the Pisces is a snub.
Yeah, the
Snub
Pisces
Scout,
is
yeah.
what goes with the constellation Phoenix, right?
I thought the
Isn't
Pisces was.
72 the Pisces?
No.
There's too many goddamn ships.
I
now.
know.
I'm starting
I
to
thought the
lose my
Pisces
mind.
was a rover.
Archimedes.
The Pisces is a scout snub fighter.
Which comes with the Carrack, right?
Okay.
Comes with the Carrack, but it also
Okay.
comes
But it
with a
also
rover.
comes with a rover. I don't know what the
I'm not
rover
sure
is,
what
but
rover
it's
comes with.
different.
It'll
Yeah.
probably come with the Ursa as well.
I think
Just
it's a
the
different. No, I
side
think they
things.
said it was a different thing. A different.
Yeah, it was
rover.
supposed to be different, but I bet you it'll end up being something pretty similar, just to
Lynx,
simplify
Lynx
stuff.
Rover is the Phoenix.
Lynx.
Yeah, Lynx. That's
the
what it's called.
Phoenix,
That's right.
yeah.
That's right. Then we have the UE Exploration Pack LTI. It's about half the price at $495. And this
It's got 3
includes
ships.
this includes the big 3, the 2 new ones, the Dragonfly and the Terrapin, but also the Carrack. I'm actually surprised that the Dragonfly is in any of these. It doesn't really seem like it fits. It's for
It
in
is
the
because
two-
you explore planets with it.
yeah, but the
It was in
Carrack
the
isn't.
3.0 demo.
But this is the thing:
It
is
was
the
in
Carrack's in both and has both a snub fighter and a rover with it already.
I know,
Look,
but I don't think there's going to be anything like exploring a planet with the
On
Dragonfly.
a speeder bike.
It's a
yeah.
hype generator. It's
That's
hype
true.
generator. It
Yeah.
was in the 3.0 demo.
Yeah,
and they
true.
want to go. Let's add it in there. We can add it. It's going to be relatively cheap.
So
them to
this
add it.
is easy to see the value, right? So it's $350 for the Carrack, right, as
Yeah.
a standalone,
Right off
and
the bat.
$195 for the Terrapin, right? So you're looking at, more. You're looking at
545 there.
right there. That's without the game. That's without the Dragonfly, without LTI, all that other stuff.
Plus 35. That's 580. So you're saving $85.
So if you have the Terrapin and you have the Dragonfly and you wanted the Carrack, this is a way to get it for cheaper than buying it separately. And making sure you still have LTI on everything. Plus, if you need to melt a game package that you own for this, once again, this includes Star Citizen and Squadron 42. Got 20,000 UEC to start and LTI on everything. That's actually, I think this is the better out of the 2 packages.
Pretty good deal.
What-
I'm going to have
yeah.
all those ships probably, so it kind of makes sense for me to maybe pick them up.
Yeah.
So very cool.
You
So
can't give
those,
them away separately though.
and then I mean,
Yeah.
there also is the Ursa. Now we don't have a link for. If anybody has
I
a
didn't
link,
get-
save
that's
it in
the
chat.
One thing I forgot.
But the
for
Ursa is $50.
Whoa. One of us has a video on the Ursa that he's made.
There you go. Post it in chat.
Yeah, post it in chat.
The Ursa is $50, or you can get the Ursa plus the Gray Cat for $55, which I would suggest that because otherwise the Gray Cat on its own is worth $15 worth
Yeah.
of UEC. So you save
Yeah.
$10 and you get a
But-
Gray Cat.
You can get a Grey Cat for getting 5 recruits, and also
That's true.
the Grey Cat is if you want to play golf in space. The Ursa is if you want to play Mass Effect with a big turret in space.
The Gray Cat is going to be good for getting around cities and stuff like that.
Yeah.
No, it's not. We've seen it in ArcCorp. It
Right
sets
now.
on fire and everyone explodes.
Right now. Yeah.
You're a dummy.
This guy.
sure it'll be fine.
Let's jump into Gamescom 2016 stuff. Now they talked about a lot about 2.5. We've talked a lot about 2.5 previously, so I'm
Yeah.
gonna sort of skip over that kind of stuff.
We know all of it.
You guys know all that stuff. If not, stick around. Ask me some questions on my channel. I'll be
Yeah.
streaming right after this. 2.6 discussion. Couple things.
Yeah.
I'm gonna hit some. I'm gonna go through these points, and then we'll talk about them. New character.
Yeah. So that guy looked pretty cool. Somebody asked.
The gravel-
I made
the
a bet
gravel-
with somebody at Gamescom. He thought it was a girl, and I was like, "What are you talking about?"
Yeah, androgynous. It's fine.
I was like,
Feature.
bet.
Yeah.
Finally want to fucking bet.
How about the guy that there's a couple new characters. What about the character that you talked to when you landed in Levski? But that I guess that was the 3.0 demo, but I know we're talking about 2.6. But the 3.0 demo.
There's
Hey, how's it going? That guy.
Hey, how's it going?
Yeah. He's like, "Hey, welcome to Levski."
That guy looked like me.
Yeah.
I thought.
They all look like you, Twerk. You're the male. and female.
Yeah, so 2.6, they didn't really show a lot of it. And I was a little bit disappointed in that because I thought we were going to see more on those mechanics. I was hoping we were going to see more of the FPS stuff because that's something I'm really looking forward to is 2.6. I thought for sure we would see the Planetside stuff, some Star Marine stuff, and I was hoping to see some missions and something else we didn't see was any of the capital ship stuff, which I was really
Got all
surprised
Citizen
as well.
Con, all
I think that'll be all
Yeah.
Citizen Con. But the
2.6 I think
the
we'll
big
get
thing
before.
was, did you see the FPS fighting on the planet?
Yes.
It was definitely not.
It's
there
not
yet.
ready.
and that's why
Yeah.
you're not seeing. That's why you're not seeing Star Marine. It
But
would
I
be
thought
my
they would
guess.
have shown the leaning stuff, the cover mechanics, new weapons,
Yeah,
new
that was a
armor,
little weird
see
considering that they had
grenades,
it
see
shown
the
already.
different gadgets, see being able to turn off gravity right? Like, think of the amount of hype that would happen if they were in a station where they were fighting each other and they turned off gravity and they showed that it's actually working.
What
They've
if
done that
that's
before.
not there?
They've done that before, though.
Well,
They've shown
it
that.
is there.
That's
You can
not
do it
new.
in Grimhex.
Can you
But-
turn off gravity? though?
Yeah.
I don't.
When you
I don't
go
think
when
that
you
would
go
create
through the
right
airlock,
kind of hype.
that airlock turns off gravity.
No, it's just there's no gravity in that.
No,
section.
no, no. It's on when you go into it. After you hit the button, it goes off.
Oh yeah, because you go
An
into the
event.
section
Yeah.
that doesn't
Yeah.
have it. Yeah.
So the mechanic's there, right? It's
I see
just
what
putting
you're
that
saying.
on a
I see
bigger
what you're
physics
saying.
grid. So maybe it's just
I
not
just-
ready or whatever. But
Or the map
I-
that they have is not like that.
Yeah.
I don't think
Yeah.
them showing 2.6 Star Marine footage would have been the best bet there. We saw Star Marine a while ago.
right.
What they wanted, it wouldn't have been. They would have to have shown something really, really new. And I
Right.
don't think that anything is really, really new. I just think it's working.
It's
and
just
much
working and
better
ready to go.
remastered.
They will not
Yeah,
show
we're
that
close to
fucking
ready to
thing
go.
until it is
Perfect.
pearly white.
Yeah.
That's all it comes down
Which
to.
is good.
Yeah.
Which is
When we
good.
get it, it's I'm sure it's still gonna have its problems, but it is gonna be
Pretty
on
good.
point
Yeah.
It
Yeah.
sounds like they've kind of crunched down all
compared to other
levels,
releases.
and it's just one level now.
Mm-hmm.
That's what it sounds like. Yeah.
It sounds like a remastered one level to start with.
Oh, really? We're getting one level to start with, is what it sounds like?
That's what it
sounds
that's
like.
kind of what it sounds
Hmm.
like. Yeah.
Interesting.
So
New custom arena for combat and 0G combined, and then Chris Roberts elaborated on that later and just said
Remastered.
again,
Yeah, remastered FPS weapons. And do you think we're
Yeah.
going to see those P8 weapons coming in from Behringer?
perhaps
we've got to see all those new weapons and new gadgets and loads of stuff.
Yeah.
I'm assuming that it's all been built out. Ready.
A lot of that stuff. Yeah, like being able to see melee and hopping
Melee.
over
They
stuff.
didn't talk
like
about
vaulting.
melee. They haven't.
They
did
talked
haven't.
not talk
melee.
about it, but
They haven't
that would be
talked about
great
it.
if it was part of it.
I know, there's a lot of times where it's like, I wish I had a knife.
Yeah.
When I'm,
so many
especially
situations, right?
when
You're
I'm in my
behind
Predator
somebody.
mode and chasing people around, I'll chase them around for
Yep.
like a minute. And they don't even
Yeah.
know I'm behind them. And then I'm like, I want to stab you, but I got to shoot you in the back of the head instead.
Yeah.
And then, so 2.6 is pretty much the big Star Marine and Arena Commander thing, because they're going to be doing some changes to Arena Commander as well. So there's
Yeah,
going to
they
be
put the
some
flight model.
improvements. There's going to be some more racing and the Grimhex racing. They're going to improve some of the camera modes. I think that they were talking before that they want to do some more camera stuff for. Remember, they wanted, and this is what they said before. They haven't talked about this recently, but having spectators be a thing.
Yeah.
Now I don't know if that's
So-
coming in with 2.6, but I know that that's
That'd be
something they
awesome.
want to have
Yeah.
eventually.
I think a lot of improved camera stuff's coming with 2.6, and it basically said to help content creators is basically what I read between the lines.
Right.
Yeah, I'm
Um,
also speculating that that's going to bring Track IR support and all that stuff back as
Oh,
well.
it was so good.
I don't know, but that's something that would be really awesome if they can. What? Because I think whatever they did with the cameras broke it, and now I think it should help it. Is my understanding. That would be awesome.
It would be good
So-
to have.
That'd be great if it because it just seems like if you can move around.
Yeah.
I really don't know what broke it, but if you can move stuff around easier, I think that's like the issue with Track IR. Is I don't think it's as easy. Like you have to press a button to look around, right, and all this stuff. So, but I don't actually know what broke it. But
And
so
then-
if that stuff comes in and fixes it, people are gonna be really happy.
New game mode.
Yeah,
Whoa.
it just said multiplayer deathmatch.
So
New
you-
game mode, multiplayer deathmatch. What the fuck? Like,
No. So what I've read from that was there was a new deathmatch arena.
okay, so a new map.
level.
A
so
new
I
map.
think-
So that'd be
A new
cool
map and
because
Arena Commander.
it would be nice to have a new map for Arena Commander because we do have the same two right now, and
From
I'm hoping
day
that the new
one.
one is green, right? Because we
That'd
have
be
one that's
cool.
red, one that's blue. We need one that's like a different, whatever. But
Yeah.
yeah, it would be cool. It would be cool to see. I don't know, something. It just that's
Anything
different.
would be nice. Change is good.
100%, 100%.
Change is good.
Then the big thing, Star Citizen 3.0. And,
Dude, when I saw them say 3.0, I was like, what happened to 2.7?
So
I
this
thought they
is-
were skipping
3.0.
ahead.
This is what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna pull up the
Cool.
gameplay footage of that, so I'm not gonna be able to see the stuff. So Twerk, if you want to cover that stuff and we
Yeah.
can talk about it while I'm playing this.
I'll rock and roll.
Just before.
Go
We
for
haven't
it.
talked about the ships that are in 2.6. New ships.
Yeah. I didn't put that in. So yeah, let's talk about what they were gonna put in because that's actually quite
Herald!
interesting. So the Herald's coming in.
Yeah, I'm really excited. Can you tell?
I'm really pumped for that. Yeah.
So
I'm really pumped for the Herald. And then this new Vanguard. So what's
it's
Yeah.
not new.
What is? Well, what is it?
It's in Squadron 42, and they didn't want
Yeah.
to release it, but they went, why not?
Yeah. So
What
what's it
is
called?
it?
The Hoplite?
The hoplite.
Hoplites, yeah. Hoplite
So what I
dropship,
heard
mate.
was
It
what I
sounds
heard-
like it sounds
this-
like a microwavable baking dish.
Wow.
So what I heard about it this morning on stream was just the viewers in the chat were speculating that since the Redeemer's not done, they needed a dropship for Squadron 42. They already had Vanguard assets done, so it just made sense.
So I think that they would have gone for the more military feel of a smaller dropship anyway.
Like something
My
similar
The
to a
Vanguard's the perfect
Terrapin.
ship, dude.
Something similar to a Terrapin that was, but different.
Ooh, the
Like an
Terrapin would be
APC,
good as a
like an
dropship,
APC,
huh?
right? Something that's
Yeah.
like heavily armored and whatever that
The
just
te-
holds
the-
people.
The Terrapin would have been a quite a
Like
good idea
like
as
think
well,
of the
if it could have
inside of the back
APC
of the Argo, the passenger Argo, but then make that bigger on the inside with multiple rows sitting in there, like kind of how like the C-130s have like all those things with their weapon racks behind them and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Something very military like that just drops in like 30 players or 40 players at a time.
Yeah, that'd
Like,
be
I
sick.
can imagine the Vanguard Hoplite carrying 6 to 8 people quite comfortably.
Or even like a Retaliator
sure.
version or something.
Because think about it, they're gonna pull out all the shit in the Vanguard, right? Like,
Mhm.
I don't think we're gonna see the bathroom
Yeah,
and the all the crap that's in there that that
gets in the
that you
way.
wouldn't. Yeah, it just gets in the way. I think it's gonna be a very bare bones on the inside, right? It's just gonna
Mhm.
be seats,
Yep.
bah, 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 everywhere. So yeah, I
I
think
like-
that was the perfect ship for that.
Yeah,
Perfect.
I like the idea because it can provide ground support as well. It's going to have reasonably good front-facing guns. So
Yeah.
I think it's perfect
Bro,
choice. I agree.
Did we talk about that new gun on the size 7?
Oh,
or whatever?
the M7A.
M7A,
M7A,
yeah.
M7A, not
The
size
size
7.
5.
Amazing.
That thing
It's
is
amazing.
awesome.
Size 5 laser.
Yeah,
Yeah.
the sound is so cool. The animation is so cool. The effects on the laser is so
The
cool.
size, so cool.
It's just the damage. The damage on someone you clip with it, they're just red immediately.
Yeah, it's
You hit
such a
them twice, they
badass
just
weapon,
explode.
dude.
And now
I'm gonna be
that's the
flying the
weapon that
Vanguard
comes
all the
on the
time now.
Starfarer, right?
Huh?
Is that the Starfarer weapon?
Yeah, I think
Yeah.
it can go on. It can go on the Starfarer.
4 on the
Gemini.
Constellation.
You can
4
put
on the
4 of them on the Constellation.
Yeah.
Dude. It's ridiculous. It sounds
Oh my
so
God.
sick. Yeah.
Interesting.
So, yeah. Yeah, dude, I'm pumped.
That's in 2.5.
That's in 2.5. Yeah, you
Yeah.
can play with
That's
it
in
right now.
2.5 right now.
Boom.
Do you want to jump into 3.0?
Let's do it.
All
All
right.
right, so you got the video ready?
It's going.
All right, so they started out with I went right down the list and put it in there. So
Okay.
3.0 is going to bring in that planetary tech that they worked on, right? So all this People of the Planet stuff, all the things from that German magazine, that comes in to
Yeah.
3.0.
With something
So
that's playing
obviously
right
that's
now,
something we've been waiting for forever.
the
right?
video in the missions. I don't know if you have that written down. I didn't see if you had that written down or not. But the video in the,
The
missions
video
and the video
inside,
in
yeah.
the ships, yeah.
I feel like I didn't have to write it down.
Yeah.
I knew that shit was going to come up.
You're talking
so
about
yeah.
the picture-in-picture.
Yeah.
No. Oh no, I have it written down for when we talk about the live event, but we can connect all this stuff together. Is the video inside the Mobi-Glass board?
Yeah, like when you're talking to Mr. I Gargle Gravel.
So, but later on, by the landing zone, we see a picture on the dashboard video.
Yes,
Of
where
the
he's
NPC as well.
landing. And he's the, hey, how's it going, guy?
Yeah.
He is that guy. I'm interested to know, because I was talking to Fiendish about this, how they actually do those. Well, obviously, for this, it's probably pre-recorded, but are they going to use cameras in game, or are they going to use all pre-recorded footage?
I think they would all use all pre-recorded stuff.
Okay.
Just because,
sense.
what if somebody else is there? Like, it's just like, okay, if somebody's doing the mission with that guy, right? You're not going to see him just stop doing what he's doing in the middle of a sentence and start doing that. It just makes
Well, no,
sense
no,
that
so
that stuff is pre-recorded, especially for the landing zones and the missions and stuff.
It could procedurally generate a room. Basically, it could create a room and then have it on demand.
Oh no, I think
Scripting
that's too much work. I think it's a lot easier to just have them pre-recorded for the missions and just play it as an actual video.
Yeah, and let's think about this though. So they're talking about having this dynamic mission system where we're gonna have all sorts of different things come up, right? But how the hell are they gonna do it with this video stuff? So there's definitely gonna be like
Well, I think that
missions,
I think yeah, those are for the hero missions where you have fully not only voice acted but mo-capped characters for that and videos. I think you'll have different levels, just like you do in World of Warcraft or any other game where you have the ones where you actually talk to the NPC, and those are the main ones that sort of follow the main narrative without the thing. Then you'll have ones like the Tessa missions, right, where it's just audio, and so you can hear her. And then you'll also have ones that are just like text, and that's it, just like the Comrade missions and things like that.
True.
So I think you'll see those for each one. So the procedural ones and the ones from players and stuff like that, I think will be mostly text based. Whereas where you have other missions that are going to be like the Comrade stuff or the Kovalex one or whatever might move up into some voice acted stuff, and then your main stuff, anything that's like really for that main area, you're gonna have the stuff with the video and everything as well.
Yeah, and then any missions that we do between each other would just be text.
Right.
Well, so Chris elaborated on it slightly further by basically saying in the demo and in probably 3.0, I think, that to get the higher level missions, the more constructed missions, like the one we saw in 3.0 with the videos and all the voice acting and the mocap and stuff, you'll get them in like the hero landing zones. You're more likely to get them from going to Levski, going to some other planets and other hero locations on Saturn. So yeah, theme park ride missions mixed in with the others.
Yeah. So how about that freelancer HUD?
So what we're looking at right now, I saw that and I was like, that's amazing. I love how it's along the glass like that.
Yeah.
And how everything
cool is that?
like projected above those squares finally properly. And yeah, and then obviously right now we also see the star map. And Chris was very adamant about this being, it's a work in progress. It's a work in progress, and you can tell that while he likes the idea, it's not implemented the way that he wants yet.
Yeah, there was so right after the event, there was a dude, I think it was from Turbulent, and he was like, I was stressing so hard because I guess they were using tech from Turbulent or something.
Right. I
was stressing so hard during that star map section that it like didn't break, or something bad didn't happen.
Yeah.
And then when it worked, I was so pumped, and like we were just sitting on the couch together, like drinking a beer or something after the event, and he was super pumped about that. So that was awesome.
Yeah,
I thought it was cool. Dude,
it was. I really
clicked
liked
the planet and it automatically directed your ship there.
Yeah.
He wants it to look like the star map from the website, though, doesn't he? He wants it to look awesome.
Of course he does.
That's what it is.
Of course, Chris does.
For the fidelity.
Of course he does.
It's a basic feature that works. I want it to look amazing.
It needs to be perfect.
It doesn't look.
But it
doesn't
cool.
like it's kind of hard to read. They're all the planets are white. Yeah.
But it looks fine for holographic HUD coming up on the screen.
Right.
Yeah. It's awesome.
Now, there was something
he
here.
Automatically went there. It was so sick. Think about if you're not even facing it, it probably turns you around and sends you right there.
But that system is going to be essential for NPC pilots, isn't it? Where you're going to go here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
Sir, yes, sir. That's so cool.
And what about the Enter Levski? So the docking, well, I think it's a docking ring as well, where you can dock like a capital ship, maybe.
That would be neat. That would be neat if it was
gate.
combined.
Yeah.
The Levski gate. So the Levski gate there is supposed to be for two reasons. One, as a zone to warp to.
Yeah.
Yeah, you need something to quantum to.
Yeah.
And to line you up with the landing zone.
Yeah, but he talked about maybe it would scan your ship pre-customs,
right?
And also guide you in lane-wise. Some of the planets that are going to be totally urbanized, they like on Earth and stuff, they don't want you to be able to travel everywhere. That's gonna
Okay,
be,
so
they
just
can't
so
create.
everybody knows, this happened just right now. 2.5L has dropped. Okay, so 2.5L is now on the PTU for first wave 1, wave 2, and subscribers. So just heads up. Don't start downloading that, you guys, because it'll kill your connection.
Watch the stream.
Then download it. Yeah.
But yeah, so obviously they can't do entire urbanized planets where we can land anywhere we want, like Earth or Terra. That would be impossible. For
Well, they
them to
will.
do,
They could say like that overgrowth has taken over most of Earth and Terra for that stuff. What I'm concerned is how we're gonna see planets like ArcCorp, where it's literally just a city planet.
City planet, but there are only going to be certain areas we can land in, and these gates will take us to those areas that we can land in.
Yeah, but
The rest of it will say no fly zone.
I don't. Maybe
They're not going to let us just land anywhere because they can't create a giant city planet
that we know
it's
of.
going to be too hot. Well, yeah, indeed. Maybe they'll just go. Actually, bored. We can.
We have no idea. They haven't said
Actually,
one.
we already have
to be
one
fair,
right now or something.
they haven't said one way or the
Prove me
other.
wrong.
They haven't said how they're going to tackle that at all. So we don't really know. This is 100% speculation on our part, but
yeah.
Well, it's not 100% speculation because there was an interview with Todd Pappy at Gamescom, which I'm kind of paraphrasing.
Okay.
Where I got that information from.
That guy.
You
guys think Brian Chambers is cool? Todd Pappy's fucking cool too. Those two dudes together, the coolness level is just so high that I couldn't even handle it. It was those two guys were the shit.
He's the gatekeeper. He is the gatekeeper.
Yeah.
To
He
so
really
much
is.
Stuff.
He really is.
And he gets to see everything before it gets to Chris, basically. He goes, this isn't ready for Chris. This isn't ready for Chris. So he gets to see the whole project. He knows what's going on, probably more than anyone else does.
Yeah.
Right.
Like we talked to him. We were like, should we try a Starfare battle in 2.5 or should we try it in 2.4? Like, did you do any improvements for 2.5? And he's like, we did some improvements, but you got to remember that 2.5 is going to be less stable, and and so it was cool. Like he literally knew everything. Because I was like, you worked on that, right? And he goes, I work on everything.
I work on literally all of it.
Literally all of it. I touch it all. So it's
someone I desperately
interesting.
want to have an interview with is Todd Pappy.
Dude, he's a really good person to talk to. So like the whole thing for ATV is overwhelming. I can tell you that you may see me on ATV this week. It's gonna be fucking embarrassing because I was so over. Like I was bad. It was bad. It's so cringe. It's so fucking cringe.
Don't you worry. We will
every
stop,
day,
pause it every frame.
It might be so cringe that I might not be on ATV.
Wait, Twerk might actually become a real meme. He kind of is already, but
it's gonna be bad. It's gonna be bad.
He's gonna bring memeing to the next level.
Yeah, and just to continue on with what we had in the doc, in 3.0 it's going to bring the whole Stanton system. So that's what you're seeing is plus Delamar. So they're landing on Delamar right now. That's what you're watching. But all the planets in the Stanton system are going to be there. So that's ArcCorp,
So rather than the whole
Microtech,
system,
all those.
Crusader.
The whole system, all of the celestial bodies.
Yeah. And so the moons will be landable.
That includes moons and all that stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah, asteroid belts. They want 30 to 40 locations there, I think, with the 3.0 release. But they're going to be fleshing it out even more afterwards. They just want all the astral bodies in for 3.0.
Yeah. Yeah, so you might not be able to land on Microtech or anything like that, but to roll up to it and see it, that'd be interesting. Will we actually be able to land on ArcCorp? Somebody asked. I doubt it, but we'll see. That's one of those things that we'll see. It could be a definite maybe, but yeah, who knows? They've been working, man, for a long time on this stuff.
Yeah,
it's going to be really exciting to see just how much they actually have. I think they showed us just a little bit.
I don't think
they showed us.
Well, I don't know where I read it or whatever, but I have a feeling they have a lot with the procedural planets, not just the atmosphere, not just bodies of water, but like vegetation and other stuff ready to go.
Well, right away he said this is version 1 is what you're seeing. We had version 2, but we have version 2 working, like we're working on it, but it's not quite ready yet. Is what Chris
But it
said.
might be ready for when 3.0 launches.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So
Exactly.
the version 2 of planets that you're talking about is basically that they're starting to move away a little bit from procedural generation to do a large areas. Those tools will allow them to do with great precision and detail large areas mixed with the procedural tech.
Yeah.
So the artists can do huge oceans, tree lines, forests with an artist-driven touch. That's insane on the
That'll be
scales
so
of planets. Because they're talking about quarter scale or 1/6 scale planets. That's insane amounts of stuff to cover if they're going to have an artist touch for all of it. I'm very excited if that's the case.
So yeah, I mean, just really, really exciting things coming with this stuff. So
how about the detail in Levski? We're coming into Levski right now. Like
Rapture, mate. Awesome. It's Bioshock.
Yeah.
Yeah, Expanse.
Yep. Yeah, it was very expansive as well. It was obviously taking influences from lots of different sci-fi, but it was so impressive. It looked amazing, that landing zone.
Yeah. This guy. Hey guys.
Hey.
Hey.
Landing pad assigned.
Yeah, dude, it's pretty cool, man.
Yeah.
Like a lot of the stuff is getting pretty neat. So I don't know. I'm just like overwhelmed with excitement for some of this stuff. It's the first time that like a lot of the building blocks, all the pieces are finally starting to come together.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? It's a big deal, man. It's a really big deal.
It is, isn't it? It is. It's literally, we've been waiting for a couple of years, and now all those building blocks have come together.
And even if it's just in one system, like who cares? Because now you have all those systems in there, and now it's just about
expanding on that and making it bigger.
Yeah. Exactly.
Multi-crew missions like this.
It's getting that
bread and butter.
And it's like all those features they talked about, and I'm sure you have that written down, where all the different features that they have coming in for 3.0, like all the different like exploration and hauling and piracy and mercenary stuff, and bringing all of that stuff in. That's all really important for them to start expanding, right? They need all of that stuff in first. Otherwise, you just have a bunch of places that you can't do anything with.
But I think as soon as they've built out one system, because they're building out their artist tools all the time, their tile sets, their artist tools, their modular prefabs, and so when they have those fully built out, they can make huge, vast areas for any system they want look entirely different with just their tools really quickly.
Right.
And because that's what the CIG seem to have been focusing on all the time. It's tools to get the stuff done. The pipeline.
That's what's been going on for the last few years. Everybody's like, "What's happening? Why isn't anything? Why don't I see anything?" This is what's been happening. It's just trying to make it efficient, right?
Yeah.
Like
gearing up.
Like, all right, for the first year, why isn't my ship ready? You see how fast they're putting out ships now? It's because they were working on that the whole time. The ship pipeline is sick now.
Like, look at
we get a ship every patch, or
they've
more
moved
than
away
one
now from hangar.
We're getting like an average of 2 ships a patch at least.
Yeah.
Yeah, and they're flyable.
And they're coming in flyable right away. Yeah.
Exactly.
So they are getting more efficient with how they're doing things, which is good. I mean, they had to learn all that stuff. You have to remember that they're all coming from this brand new, right? There's no studio, there were no pipelines, there were no best way to do things or whatever. They had to figure that out as they were doing all of this while releasing all this content and showing everybody everything and doing it. So you know, sometimes, you know, even I or other people, you know, you sort of forget to keep that in mind, and you're like, oh, you know, it'd be nice to see this, it'd be nice to have this. But when you look at the grand scheme of things and you're like, okay, well, they had to build the studios, they had to hire everybody, they had to start working on this, they had to not only R&D and design, but also implement all these different systems that come in and work, all while building this content and putting this content out.
With a load of people that haven't worked together before. I mean, some of them, a couple of them have, like the CryEngine guys.
But the entirety of the project is brand new to everybody, and the entirety of the workflow is brand new to everybody, and how they work within the different studios and how they communicate back and forth and all of that other stuff.
And just how they're made ships, like they don't make assets like this in any other game. Super detailed. Like
they don't
the
make
inside
games like this either. They don't make games like this. So everyone to this is totally, entirely new, including Chris, including the CryEngine guys, everyone. It's crazy. But looking at that demo, and assuming that they can pull that off by the end of the year, like they've said, and we're going to see more at CitizenCon, it seems to have worked. It seems that maybe some other AAA games might want to take on the same model.
Yeah, I mean, I think they're going to see how hard
you may see other.
You need a person like Chris Roberts to do that, though.
You may see other games with similar ideas with a different theme. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like this is very much like a space, sci-fi, whatever. You know, you could do this with like a fantasy world. You could do this
Imagine
with
seeing like a like a fantasy world like this.
Yeah.
There is. It's called WoW.
No, like this.
Yeah, like this. Like
WoW is not like this.
Yeah, but so projects like that have failed already. Though, like I think Titan might have been something like that, and there have been loads of other MMOs and stuff that have tried to do similar stuff to Star Citizen scope-wise, huge scope things, but they just haven't been able to do it. It's just they've had to involve publishers and stuff. So maybe, I mean, I'd love to see a fantasy world like this,
right?
But I just think that
something like the world of like GTA, or have something like, and I'm not talking like different planets. I'm talking just one big planet, right?
Yeah.
Like doing the Earth,
just a
like
level of
like
detail,
this, just to that level of detail.
I just think it's too ambitious for a lot of things, because this could have failed.
It could have
failed earlier on.
It could have.
I mean,
but the thing is once they have all this engine tech done, once they know how to do things in an efficient and effective manner, then they can, you know, it's easy to go for another studio to say, okay, how do we do this? And then all of that work, all that hard work, and all that pathfinding is done because CIG has done it for this game.
So Brian Chambers said that they think they've modified about 50%.
Yeah, or more.
50% or more difference from the original CryEngine.
Mm-hmm.
2 years work just on modifying the CryEngine to be perfect for what they want.
Right.
And that's, I love what they've done. I mean, you just look at this stuff and you just go, I'm drooling with anticipation. And
you know that they've modified it in a way that it's something that they can easily change things. It's not like they would have modified it in a way where it's like, oh, it only works for this. Like, for example, the best example is the item 2.0 stuff and how it works with the different physics grids, right? So something that Proxys was talking to me about was how the item 2.0 works so well with the physics grids that that's what they do with the elevators. And no other game does that, where it is literally a moving elevator and you're not clipping through it. It's not teleporting you as the elevator does, or like just the way that it does things is really cool. And they're doing it properly. So then when they do go to build on this and expand the universe even more after the game's out and create DLC and stuff, all the tools are already there. They're already laid out for them, and they're going to be able to do it much more efficiently than if they were to just sort of half-ass things.
Talking about the elevators and item system 2.0, or item 2.0. So is this item system 2.0? And does this mean that, because it said somewhere I read that the item 2.0 will be fully in 3.0.
It's not fully in yet.
Sorry?
It was
It's
listed.
not fully in.
It was on the list, items 2.0.
Yeah, it was on the list for 3.0. Yeah.
Okay.
Obviously, everything gets added onto, but it was on the list, on the PowerPoint.
On the points list
items
of what's
2.0.
coming in 3.0, right under Star Network, I think was items 2.0.
So basically I'm waiting for the full refactor of all weapons and items so that we can see how ships compare to each other.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah, and that'll be
about to see.
Being able to swap out components and modules and being able to change your stuff on your weapons, on your suits.
Understanding the numbers in your head,
right,
to compare them. It's bam.
Yeah.
So that's really
having all
important
of that stuff sort of fleshed out, which is really cool.
Mm-hmm.
Somebody just said, "What do you think 3.1 will have?"
Oh my God.
Well, we know.
Lag.
We got to it. Chris talked about it. He said that it will probably have salvage, and some of the other gameplay elements and mechanics.
Some more of the mechanics.
3.1 will
will fix a lot of the things that 3.0 breaks.
Yeah, that's what I'm going.
Yeah, maybe 3.2 or 3.3. Yeah.
I think the idea then is that they can add gameplay mechanics. So they'll be adding.
Well, that's what's going to start happening.
Well, they're waiting for the Cry Network for that.
Things.
The biggest thing on that entire list is the Cry Network. It's not the procedural planets. It's not anything else. It's a Cry Network, because once they understand what the limits of that are under heavy load, like by actual users, then they're going to be able to understand how they need to build out those other mechanics and then implement them.
Yep.
And then we'll see how difficult it is for them to add those things while still maintaining the amount of players and the amount of information going back and forth from the servers to the client that they need for them to complete what their vision is for this game. So, and you know, it's Star Network. Yeah, the Star Network 1.0. It will probably go through a bunch of iterations and changes as time goes on as well, and modify to exactly what they need it to do for this game.
Yeah. It's this chat is so funny right now. It's like 4.0 is gonna have this, 4.5 is gonna have that.
What does 6.9 have? What does 4.2.0 have?
I just typed in the chat. What is 5.1K PTU going to have? Come on, guys. Come on. You guys are silly.
What about this AI subsumption stuff then?
Yeah, so it's pretty cool. It adds NPC stuff.
And I think I know why it's not in yet. And and it's the items 2.0. And the reason I think it's this is I keep trying to push these AI into the fucking elevator to get them to the top of Grimhex so I can take them to Korea or something and trick people by putting somebody there that they can't kill, right? Because it's an NPC and you can't kill them. But they won't transfer to different physics grids. There's something that's stopping them.
No,
and it's like
I've seen them in 2.5. I've seen them moved to
some dude moved them all.
Really? I haven't been able to get them.
I don't know how he did it though.
I haven't been able to get them out. Yeah, I haven't been able to get them to the elevator. So, but I think
they keep disappearing.
I think there's, and that's the other thing too, right? When you're moving them around and stuff like that, I think that you need to be able to see them, and that's just more information that's being sent to the client, right? So everybody needs to know where they are in that same area, and right now, if you move them away from their area, the other players can't see them, and so then it gets really weird because then you have clipping issues and all kinds of stuff, and they don't want that.
Yeah, next time you see Dast _row or Dastro, ask him, because he's the one who did it, and Dastro was also the Big Benny's.
Yeah, he was the Benny's
outfit.
Box.
Yeah, it was awesome, dude.
Good at moving stuff.
Yeah. He's good at moving stuff, but yeah, it was good. But like the AI subsumption stuff, so they keep saying that it's going to bring in the mission system with it. And obviously that's the NPCs communicating with you with the mission, but also day and night cycles is some assumption as well. So I thought that was cool. So the planets are gonna have day and night cycles.
Well, the planets are gonna rotate and have an orbit around planets.
Yeah, dude.
And we know they're gonna have weather and storms and shit. Like it's gonna be crazy. Cray.
I think probably for 3.0, I mean, correct me if I'm wrong, won't they probably fake the rotation for 3.0?
No idea.
To start with?
No idea. Are they even going to rotate at all in 3.0? I don't even know.
I assume they're just going to say...
We don't know if it's working or not. I would assume that if it was working, that they would have shown it and they would have sped it up.
Yeah.
Or they would have been like, oh, we're coming in daytime and this planet goes daytime and nighttime every 2 hours. So it's coming in right at the end and then they leave at nighttime, and that would be kind of cool. And you can see like now when we get off, we're facing somewhere else. But I don't know if that's in or not yet, or if it'll be in with 3.0, or if it's something that will be coming in later on.
I think that the important thing with the day-night cycle stuff is that AI have schedules, so they know that it's become night. They know that it's day. They know that they're supposed to be working in a shop. They know that they're supposed to be going to the bar because it's nighttime.
You're going to see different groups at different times of the day. You know, you're going to see your people at night like you do in the real world, right? So
yeah.
That's all cool. Dude, CitizenCon hype.
Yeah.
Right? Like all this stuff, hopefully, all the questions that we have, they all get answered at CitizenCon probably. It's going to be sweet.
Let's hope so.
Let's hope so, for real.
Yeah.
Let's see. Anything else that we missed?
Ground combat?
Go ahead, Board.
I was going to say about the mission system in general.
Yeah, I don't think we talked much about exactly like how that worked. The inner thought system too. We haven't talked about.
Yeah, inner thought.
Right. So that was really cool. If you watched old Chris Roberts games, if you played old Chris Roberts games, it's pretty similar to that. You have a couple choices, and you can move your mouse to them.
And he was even saying like you'll have different choices based on what it is, right? So you can look at like the water bottle and you can be like just grab it and drink it. You can grab it and put it in your inventory. You could pick it up and just hold on to it, and you'll get those options based on what type of object or what type of interactions that you can have with that object or person or thing or whatever, which is really cool. I'm trying to think of the way that the UI works for that. Like it kind of floats around.
It's mouse wheel.
Yeah, I know it's mouse wheel. I'm talking about the aesthetics of how it actually looks in game.
That's a Chris Roberts thing.
Yeah, it's a Chris Roberts thing. I don't know if there's much to change it to make it look any better while still having that functionality. If it unless it was like a ring thing, or some games do it in a ring, or some of them will do it like a mouse wheel or just whatever.
It's in the end, it's never gonna look good because you're writing text on screen for what you want to do. Like it's never gonna. It's always gonna break immersion a little bit, right?
Yeah, and that's what I'm thinking. That's what I'm thinking. It's sort of that like
breaking it.
And I've said this before, is one of the biggest turnoffs for Arc for me is the way that the UI is for everything, is because it just takes you out of everything so much.
So it's quite possible.
And where they're trying to keep everybody in with this.
They're putting a slimline version of the inner thought system, so you can have the normal version, or they have a little tiny version at the bottom left if you don't want to break immersion for VR.
That'd be cool.
Yeah, that would be cool if there was like a smaller version, like in the corner or something.
Yeah, I wouldn't see that be hard for them to do, assuming that
instead of it taking up like a third of your screen or a fifth of your screen or whatever it's taking up right now.
I'd assume there'd be slimline options for a lot of the stuff in the HUD that people don't want.
But that video mission stuff.
Yeah.
What do you guys think? We talked a bit about it, but it was quite a lot of steps, which was nice. So I like that there was multiple steps. It feels very questy, like in lots of MMOs. I don't know. I'm looking forward to seeing how they do that, because you can see how it ends.
Mm-hmm.
Like it ends and the curtain drops, but that's not going to happen in the game. Right. So this 3.0 demo was there to show what they've been working on.
Right.
That's not how a mission's going to finish in the game. Because your game never ends in an MMO, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know. I'm kind of interested to see how that plays out. You probably end up in a hospital is how it ends. This mission in particular, but I don't think missions are necessarily going to be exactly the way they showed them, right? It was pretty scripted, all that stuff to show off what they've been working on.
So I was saying this to someone the other day, actually. So in these kind of missions, say that you have an Idris, okay?
Yeah.
And you decide to do this mission, and your Idris is in orbit.
Yeah.
Yeah? It's next to that mission. Is he still going to double cross you if that's part of the script? Or does the NPCs dynamically know probably not to attack the guy that's got an Idris in orbit?
I don't know. I think it'll probably be pretty static, those missions.
Mm-hmm.
I think a lot of that stuff is going to be pretty static with I don't know. I don't imagine it would be dynamic to that level anyways. Where it's like, oh, I see you have an Idris that has a bunch of weapons and a whole fleet waiting outside. I can also see them instancing the missions. Similar to how they instance missions and quests in World of Warcraft. Where you kind of get your own thing.
I hope they don't do that.
They might have to.
Dude, no. Think about this as a pirate.
No. Just the scripted missions. Just the scripted missions. They're gonna have to. Right. So like this one, the one with Buddy that they showed here, it may have to be right. How are you gonna have 30 people come up to the same guy, all give the same mission, and everybody go do it at the same time? You can't do that. It's not going to be able to do it that way. It won't make any sense. They might have to instance some of those missions and only the big ones though, right? Like Comrade stuff and things like that. You wouldn't have to.
I think I have a rebuttal to this. So when you become a defender at Korea, what happens? Pirates get a mission to go kill the defender, right?
Right.
So when you take this mission, he might not be the guy that double crosses you.
You might be the cronies. Yeah. Okay, but
You might get a mission to double cross.
right, but
yourself.
but this is my rebuttal to that is you can still only have so many people take that pirate mission as well. So then they would just join that instance.
But there'll be lots of different missions going on at the same time. So
Right.
Yeah, I think space is big.
and even some of the theme park missions might have multiple NPCs. They could generate different NPCs for different things. They might not give you that mission at the same time. It might give
And
you it
even the
later.
theme park missions might
Ramp up the
have
difficult.
different. They might go multiple ways.
hmm
Right?
Yeah, I get once again, I think that that may be the way that they do it for the large, big scripted missions. Just
I see
because
what you're
there's it's really hard to have it so you have especially when the game starts and everybody's doing the same missions. You can't have 1,000 people go and do the same one all at the same time.
In the full release game,
Mhm.
I don't think everyone will be doing the same mission at the same time. They can change it around so that missions are different without. You can have that.
No, they
that
can't.
mission
But
that I had
there's
first,
only
like I had
so
last.
there's only so many variables that they can make with those heavily scripted missions that they can do though, right? Well, I'm not talking about the majority of the missions. I'm talking about the hero missions.
Yeah,
Right,
but
those
you're
ones.
not gonna get them all.
Those ones are.
You're not going to get them all. At the
I
same
can
time,
almost
though,
guarantee
like
you
I
are
said.
going to have to be instance.
Well, maybe they will. We'll
Right.
have
I
to wait
mean,
and
they
see.
do it in WoW. It's not insane, right? It just instances the one room you go. No, it's not because it
not
just
a match break. It
instances
does it right.
you in the one room. It doesn't instance the whole planet just for you. It just instances the one room in you. So it's like nobody else is going up to the same NPC or whatever. Right? He could be hiding in like some office, and so as soon as you walk in the office, it's just you and him. Or you and your crew and him or whatever.
Otherwise, there could be a literally a queue of people waiting that one NPC, is what Soros is saying. And
Right,
I see that as well,
or
but-
people already halfway through the mission when you show up to that mission. And with the hero missions, they're not going to make infinite hero missions that all spawn from the same NPC.
They can create the same mission in different area. Like they don't have to have that. They don't have to have that waypoint there. They can have it somewhere else.
Right.
Same mission.
But yeah, but they could only do that so many times because they need the actual set for it, right?
I'm trying to think about like the
That's
economy.
So that's basically instancing, but without it being an
like
instance.
you have to also say whatever is simplest and makes the most sense for them to do, right? Because instancing those things makes the most sense for them to do, both from a cost standpoint, both from a player immersion standpoint, and everything else. It just makes the most sense to do it. Unless they have some sort of other crazy tech that we don't know.
IDD just made the fucking best point that probably throws all this shit out the window instantly. Miles Eckert would just give different locations.
But that's my problem is they're not going to make all those areas those in different locations.
Space though, dude.
They have to make them though.
There's so many areas. No, because all they have to do is make this Starfarer, and then Starfarer just gets copied and pasted all over the place. And it might be a Starfarer in one place, or it might be an Idris.
But I'm talking
another,
like the planet side stuff.
Planet side missions could still be instanced too because the planets are fucking huge.
That's what I'm saying. Is they need to be instanced.
Not instanced, but copied and pasted all over the planet. They're so big that they can send you to different locations on the planet.
But they would have to have the same like topography and the same buildings and all the other same shit that they have.
Not necessarily.
And even if they don't, then they have to make those.
Not necessarily, because all that stuff can be done procedurally.
Yeah, I don't know. I think we'll have to see, but it just the simplest is usually the most effective. Well, I mean, we'll have to see. We'll have to wait and see.
Has Chris ever done the simplest, most effective thing?
Well,
he's done the hardest, most awesome thing.
I can imagine the theme park missions being instanced, possibly. It depends if they have to be.
Well, like there's only one way to find out, and that's when they come in. I think this is an argument that's not going to go one way or the other. But it's interesting to see.
Make my next bet on this one too.
Oh shit! No, please take him up. Please take him up on the bet.
I'm willing to make a bet that it won't be fucking instanced.
All right,
There's
let me think about it.
Dude. I think it would totally ruin the game if they did it that way.
I don't think it would ruin the game at all.
Bet.
It wouldn't ruin the game at all.
Bet, buddy.
I will. I just have to think of something good to put you through.
The bet. Yeah.
Yeah. Don't you worry. The bet is happening. The bet is definitely happening.
No.
Yeah, for sure,
love
100%.
Have an argument over instancing. Oh, it won't let me instance. It will ruin the game.
Yeah, and that's fine for the procedural missions. Like, people are saying, oh, well, Eve does this or whatever. Yeah, that's fine for text or voice stuff or whatever. But when they have video of everything and they're the hero missions, there's no way. But Twerk thinks otherwise. Some people in chat think otherwise. Me and Twerk are going to have another epic bet.
Yeah.
And we might see a return of Trixie17 doing something even more ridiculous. Maybe we'll get some sort of live Pokemon Go Trixie17 stream or something. I'll think of something good. Don't worry about it. Let's move forward on this. No, you can't do like nipple piercing and stuff on stream. Although I think you can get tattoos now.
That would be a pretty extreme. That would be a pretty extreme bet.
I'd get a tattoo. I get a Twerk
would
17 logo. I know. I'm already covered in them. What is next on the docket?
Did you? Oh, did you guys? We talked about it a little bit, but the turret improved sound. So along with that sorry, I think there's a storm coming. That M7A.
Mm-hmm.
There's also it seems like they did all the M number A weapons and changed.
So the
them.
full size range of those.
Yeah, the M3As look a little bit redone and everything. So.
Well, everything's going to continuously get refactored until it's.
Oh yeah, so that was something I noticed. I'm trying to think of what else. I think we hit a lot of it. Anything come to mind? I don't see anything.
We did hit most of it, I think.
I mean,
yeah, grabby hands at the end.
Grabby hands, ground combat in general looks awesome. I mean, that's
I mean, it looked like there was still some desync. Some people were like, "Oh, the armor," and this is something I want to touch on because I know a lot of people are like, "Oh, the TTK was too high for the armor." I honestly think it was just desync issues. But even so, even if it was armor, that's something that can be balanced out later on. Anything where like it's like, "Oh, this ship seems too fast," or "It hits too hard," or this weapon's too powerful, or these armor is too strong or too weak or whatever, that stuff's easily changeable. It's not set in stone by any stretch of the imagination. So those things I'm less worried about, and I know a lot of people seem to express some concern over how many bullets it took to hit the heavy pirate armor, and even if it wasn't desync, that's something that can be
a lot too. He missed a lot, and he wasted on those meat popsicles as well.
Right.
Like anytime anyone was dead, he wasted some weapons on them and stuff.
Yeah, like we're actually seeing the that's funny that we're saying this because we're seeing that fight right now in between the heavy pirate and this.
I just loved the fact that the second pirate he fights in the heavy armor, and obviously the guy's been told not to shoot him with the shotgun.
Yeah. Just shoot the wall, dude. Shoot the wall.
Make it look good. Make it look good, but not too good.
Yeah.
Yeah. There's just so many situations where he just missed. It seemed like he hit the wall so many times.
No, but there's a lot where he did. Like we're watching it right now, and he did hit it.
Yeah. It hit him in the head, but it didn't show a hit marker.
Yeah, like, and that's what I'm saying.
That's why we don't have Star Marine.
I think that's
and remember the network code isn't done for this demo.
Yeah.
So you're gonna see desync and stuff because they like if it was good for this demo, we'd already have it in game probably.
How about that Dragonfly though?
That was Melissa, not a guy.
No, the pirate was Melissa and somebody else.
Chris.
I forgot the other name.
Chris was the freelancer pilot.
Yeah, Chris and Glenn were the
right?
nice guys.
The good guys, aka.
Yeah, the good guys. Melissa and somebody else were the bad guys.
We don't know that these guys were good. We don't know that these guys were good. These guys could be total assholes that we're looking through. They could be worse than the guys that double cross them.
They were nice.
Yeah,
they were nice.
This is true.
This is the best part, dude. It got so hype in there when the Dragonfly dropped. I don't think anybody saw it said Drake on the box.
I saw it.
When the box actually
when we were watching it, I was like, "Oh god!"
Lit up, dude.
Yeah, it was pretty sick though. But when he actually got on it and like flew out and everything, I was like, the whole HUD is done and everything.
The HUD is sick.
The only thing that didn't happen was the way that the pods are supposed to move in the front and the back. When it goes on to planet, they're supposed to go out more. Broken. Yeah. Obviously, it's not completely finished, and they just wanted to show it off, but it is very cool. And even like the way that it flew around on the planet.
I saw it, but in the building, people didn't. I don't think people in the building at the actual event saw it. You didn't hear anything in the crowd, and then it dropped, and then the crowd roared. Like you didn't even hear people go, "It's Drake" or anything. You know, like where you normally would. That's what I meant. That's what I meant.
Right.
It does look really cool. That little.
Yeah.
So glad I have some.
Dude, it is so neat looking.
Yeah.
My favorite thing of it was actually the HUD. I was really impressed with the way the HUD looked because it's such a small ship. But they did really well.
They did the HUD well. Well, look at it's like they had a windscreen of a motorcycle, right? They're your normal HUD of the motorcycle, and then the mirrors. But instead of mirrors and the windscreen, they had like screens, which was I mean, the windscreen is still a windscreen. It just has the stuff on it. So yeah, it's pretty cool. And then when they flew it in, and you see it going into the physics grids, and they got it from one ship to another ship to planet. Now, mind you, there was a little bit of bugs when it went invisible, but
yeah, the best part was they said in all of our playthroughs and all of our time practicing, we did not see that bug, and it had to happen on the live one.
Yeah.
Which you know what, I like that. When you see stuff like that, it lets people know that don't know Star Citizen. They're used to seeing the trailers. They're used to seeing all the bullshit. You know, the hand wavium and making things look good. Whereas with this, it was straight, they were playing.
Yeah.
So when they ran into issues, it let people know that they're playing the game that you're going to play. Right?
Yeah.
And I thought that was really awesome. You know, it's just
no
bullshit. As soon as that ship is crossed over the threshold fully into that physics grid, it disappears. And it's probably something quite simple to fix graphically.
Probably. Yeah, they've never seen it either. So they'll probably look at it and say, what the hell happened? You know? But yeah, dude, they put a ship inside of a ship.
Yeah,
and travel with it,
just travel with it,
and then brought it down to planet and let it fly around on the planet like a speeder bike.
Did you hear the sounds? It might have been hard to hear over your pure fangirl screaming. But the sounds of the Dragonfly going over the rocks, you can hear pebbles hitting the ship and shit.
Yeah. Oh, well, the other thing too is you could hear the ship shake in the atmosphere, like with the turbulence and everything, which was cool.
Many games have tried to do combined arms fighting. And I think the best one for it was probably PlanetSide.
Arma.
Arma was pretty good for it as well.
I've never played PlanetSide.
Yeah, I've never played PlanetSide, but I know Arma is.
This kind of combined arms fighting from orbit.
Yeah, and that's something I said on my channel, and I've talked to you guys about even, is that this sort of, they said before that there was going to be no orbital strikes or anything like that, because there's really going to be no way that they're going to be able to do it, because it wasn't going to be full planets that you could explore. It was just going to be cities, and they didn't want people blowing up cities and stuff like that. But now we have reasons for the Gladiator, the Retaliators, bombers that could be in orbit where
Idris,
Idris or whatever, where the gate is. If they're in that area of space, then you, instead of having like a rifle or something like that, you as a player or with a vehicle, you could have a laser target where your other teammates could see or other people could see, like a marking device or whatever, and then they could go and bond that. Yeah. So it opens up a lot of different possibilities. Whether that's going to be in is who knows, but it is something they could look forward to doing later on. And
Saurus, can you go back to the on the video to where the ship's coming in to the second planet, coming down from orbit into the second planet, and we can see the craters in the background?
Yep.
It's just before he gets out of the turret.
Yep.
So that looks amazing over there.
All those craters? Yeah.
Those craters look fucking amazing.
Well, you know what else was...
detailed.
This is something that Chris brought up, and, you know, obviously this is not something I would imagine is coming in the first iteration of the game, even after it goes gold. But when Chris was talking about planet-side stuff and the fact that they're fully explorable planets and now something to do, he specifically used the word player homesteads.
Yeah, dude,
because there's so much space now. No, but in all reality, right? Even if you have literally millions of players playing, just like on Earth, you have room for all those people, right? And that's just on one planet. We're talking hundreds and hundreds of planets within 100 or so systems, right? So there's a lot of room for that kind of stuff. And it could, and they could do it. It could be very, very basic.
The wizard's curtain has fallen.
Oh no! It could be all basic and
we
root.
Can see his house.
We can see everything.
See everything.
Do not look behind the curtain. Do not go back there.
Oh my god!
The great wizard has spoken.
On stream.
It's okay, guys. It's okay.
But it could be a very rudimentary thing that they slowly introduce over time, and after the game has come out, very simple, like prefab buildings or whatever that you have, or something even similar to how World of Warcraft does garrisons, right? It could be something like that, and you can, like, there is a lot of space to do that. To be fair, there is a shit ton of space to do that. So,
I'd love to see stuff like that.
yeah, I don't expect it on release at all.
No, neither do I.
I think that was Chris doing what he does on 10 for the Chairman all the time and say, that would be cool.
Yeah.
And then the CIG devs are like, how the fuck are we going to do that?
He's probably talked about
to be honest, I don't think the implementation of that after they have procedural planets in that are fully explorable is very difficult. I compared to a lot of the things that they do, I don't think that's anything. It's not like an insane, oh my god, they could never do that. But I think it would be cool, and I think it would add a lot to, you know, the replayability and the quote unquote end game for players and organizations and things like that.
Yeah.
Right.
Before we move on to anything, we haven't let people know that we answer questions. Exclamation point question in the chat.
We might be speed rounding them. But we'll see.
Might be speed rounding them.
I think people like the speed round answers anyway, though.
I think it's better that way, because sometimes we just kind of go kind of crazy on some of them.
Mm-hmm.
But some of them are good questions, you know.
The ground combat was so good. There was combined arms.
It was really cool.
Dude, it was sick.
And
if only they can hit each other. And I think the Ursa Rover's got quite a bit of armor, because the Dragonfly here hit the shit out of it.
Well, I don't think it's destructible. Hence why
it probably doesn't have damage states.
Yeah, but I also think this is going to be a lot better when there's actual NPCs rather than having to fill it with player slots.
Hold on. Exclamation point question. It'll give you a form to fill out, guys, and then it puts everything nice and clean, and we filter them and all that good stuff. So, exclamation point question.
And then fill out the form, link. Click the link and fill out the form.
Yeah.
Feel free to ask us anything about our channels, our Star Citizen, us, when we're not CIG devs. So we just randomly guess the answers.
Yeah. Well, we randomly guessed that we're CIG devs. Today, definitely. I am a
Multiple
CIG
times
dev.
on the stream, I threw some things out there, and Disco just looked at me and was like, "No, you're wrong. You're an idiot."
You know what we?
So yeah, we're not CIG devs.
I just thought of something that I want to start doing for my channel, and I'll tell you what it is in between us going. I won't ruin it for everybody else because I think it's gonna be hilarious. Anyways, yeah. So I guess if we don't have anything else to really talk about 3.0. We can go into some questions.
Ending? We're coming up to the ending.
The ending is true. We are getting up to that here.
The ending's pretty
okay.
epic.
How about this? How about the fact that the ending, and spoiler alert if you haven't seen this, which you should have anyways, that freelancer coming in and killing him because everybody was out of ammo.
Play the game.
And that's and to me that's what really triggered the orbital stuff, because you saw them fly in the whole thing and it was seamless. Yeah. And so you know that ships can fire when they're on planet side and hit people that are on the ground now. So it's like, what's the difference? Now you just put longer, like do you have the range on the missiles, and then that's it. Right? So you those laser targeting things could just create a target for your ship that you lock on and you fire the missile to.
We need very powerful ground-to-air defenses, because otherwise there's no point in having ground vehicles. You might as well just fly around on your ship and just land anywhere you want. You need really, really powerful deterrents for flying your ship in. So lots of ground installations. And once you've taken them out, then you can fly your ship in.
Right.
So you'd come here with a ground vehicle. You'd
Once you kill the
turn off.
NPCs that are controlling them or whatever.
Yeah.
Or what players.
So real quick, for those of you that didn't catch what happened, was the person who was playing the good guys that was on the ground ran out of ammo because he was shooting it all over the place, right? So he runs out of ammo, can't kill the pirate, and Chris Roberts tells Chris, who's flying the freelancer, to get out of the freelancer and help
him.
And then all of a sudden, the freelancer guns, he doesn't get out of the ship. He just takes the freelancer guns and shoots at him.
Yeah.
And kills him.
And
so
blows
totally
him,
off
blows
the
him
cuff.
off, and he like ragdolls up the stairs from the
It was
explosion.
so epic.
He didn't have any FPS weapons, that guy. He literally had nothing other than the freelancer. And turns out that the freelancer was pretty good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So sick.
That could have gone wrong, though.
That was really awesome. And then they pick up the boxes and walk with them. So this is the first time we've seen any sort of.
And then he's walking with it carefully, and then he just drops it on the ground.
Yeah, and
but
everyone just
they
laughs.
were worried. I think they were worried to having the same local physics bug that they just had with the Dragonfly.
Right.
Yeah. So Chris played it off really smooth. Like, go have Chris pick it up. You know. He just drops it. It's good. It's good stuff. But yeah, I mean, I thought the overall the event went really well. The greatest tweet ever that night was the Feels Bad Man picture, and then it says all Star Citizen refunders right now. You know, it was good stuff.
There's been a big thing about people that had refunds trying to get their refunds overturned so that they can get back into the game.
Yeah,
I heard about that too.
Loads of them. So
because I mean, they just couldn't wait.
CIG are now consistently proving that they can drop and provide what they say they're going to provide.
Right.
And they're able to do that more consistently now, which is why I think they didn't show us too much here. They want to save some for CitizenCon and then some for a holiday live stream, stuff like that, so they can go, look, guys, more and more and more and more and more. But yeah, that was so impressive. 3.8.
That was awesome. And again, it's pretty far off from us playing it, you know. So, you know, they're hoping by the end of the year type of thing. So it's only going to get better from where what we saw. You know, it's only going to get smoother. It's only going to look better. He already told us that planet was not the highest fidelity, not the best planet that we're going to see.
Right.
That was version 1.0. They already have the 2.0. We talked about that earlier. So it's just going to get better, dude.
Oh,
all right, we want to get into like questions.
Yeah, we're going to get into questions. We are definitely not going to be able to answer all of these today. But I'm going to try and power through as many as we can here. First one's for BoredGamer from Chris. What was your favorite Twerk 17 moment from GamesCon? Mine was the one where he upped Disco Lando saying he was the second most liked streamer.
Yeah. Come on. If it was not the fucking snipe, guys, what's wrong with you?
I mean, the snipe was amazing. That was pro MLG. It was also when you didn't know the words to any song.
Any of the songs, yeah. And you
I don't listen to music or watch movies or anything. I go outside and stuff.
Next question is from Foible. We all know that the Star Network is supposed to be coming with version 3.0, but do we know if that will result in lifting the player ship limit beyond 24, or will it result in just better performance for 24 players? Has anyone heard of any actual comment about lifting the number, and if the zone system will be in place?
I don't know if I've heard anything, but you would think that that's the plan.
No, Chris said that specifically that it's to have more players and for greater
and to bring more players in. Yeah.
Yep.
Tabler asks, ever since the presentation at Gamescom, the Star Citizen community expanded quite a bit. Do you think it will stay this way or rather shrink once the hype has settled down for some people, or maybe even expand with CitizenCon coming soon?
The hype's always going to go down a little bit because, again, we're not that close.
Okay, so I think it's going to go down a little bit. I don't think it's going to go down as far as it did before. Even before, it was starting to ramp up a little bit. But I don't think we're going to see it go back down too much, especially if 2.6 is coming out soon. And CitizenCon is literally a month away.
Right around the corner.
It's literally right there. So that's going to bring in a whole bunch of new hype. And then a month later, they want 3.0 in before Christmas. And Chris was pretty adamant about that. So I imagine it's going to be fairly reasonable for the next little bit.
Yeah.
I don't think it's going to be... It's going to attract more attention overall, I guess.
We're going to see more and
sure,
more and
for
more
sure.
and more citizens. We're going to see a load more players constantly. It's not going to shrink. It's always going to grow. It's just going to grow at a slower rate when there's no hype at all, or
For
less
sure.
hype.
Cyberwolf asked, Twerk 17, we saw Star Marine on your Gamescom thing, on your
yes.
overlay. Do you know why that wasn't shown, or why that was even on there? On like basically what happened?
Yeah, it's a really simple answer. It was that overlay was made to have everything that we could potentially play. Star Marine and I'm sure in their plans was to hopefully be playing it around the time and hopefully be showing it. So the overlay had to have everything that you could potentially play. It wasn't put there to like tease you, you know?
I felt teased.
It wasn't. Yeah, I feel like everybody did feel teased. Everyone was really hyped for Star Marine, and you saw it a lot in the first couple days. And I think that's why Disco came in right away and said, we will not be playing Star Marine on day one. And it was just to say, hey, you know,
I thought that was
it wasn't ready, but
I thought they was teasing that and then go, ha, we were. Because it's Disco.
well, that would have been awesome, but no, it was never planned to. So it was there in case. That overlay was made way in advance.
Way in advance, ahead of time.
He had to make that overlay, and then he had to work on the booth and all that stuff. Disco did a lot of the planning for that event. So the overlay was done, and it was done not knowing what we were going to play. So there you go. That's why that was actually there.
12 count asks, which landing zone are you all looking forward to most in 3.0? For me in particular, it's ArcCorp, just because I'm interested to see how they're going to do a fully factory-like planet. What about you guys?
Is it Microtech? Isn't that Microtech?
No, that's ArcCorp.
Microtech. ArcCorp is the full factory planet, the one that we can walk on now. Microtech is like the ice planet.
Yeah.
I thought that was the... Oh, I'm so confused.
I want to see if we can go into Crusader's atmosphere, because it's supposed to be like the Cloud City from Star Wars.
Yeah, we've seen the concept art for a lot of that stuff, and it looks really cool.
Yeah.
While BoredGamer's trying to figure out what his favorite place or what he's looking forward to most, I'm going to skip to the next question here. Twerk 17, what were you and the other guys able to see at Gamescom? The same thing we saw. Anything that he...
Exactly the same thing you saw.
I don't think...
I don't work there. I wasn't privy to any extra information. I was able to see, if I wanted to, the run-throughs of the Gamescom demo before anyone was in the actual area when they were practicing, but I chose not to. I put my head down. I know that DJ and Baron sat in there and watched it with them, and it was very different from what you saw, because things kind of went wrong a little bit. So it was different, but the same. You know, just different kind of script, basically.
From Renault asking all of us, how does the buyback work? If I buy a Terrapin and upgrade it to a Carrack later and want to buy the Terrapin again, can I buy it for the old price again, or do I have to wait for the next Terrapin sale? If you've upgraded a ship, that you can't rebuy it again.
Because you actually still have
ship.
the Terrapin.
Yeah, you still have the Terrapin.
Yeah, your account will say you have a Terrapin with like a little upgrade on it.
Yeah.
So when you go to your hangar, it's going to say Anvil Terrapin.
And I can show you what that looks like here momentarily.
Yeah.
So if I go into my hangar, let me pull this up here on the screen for you guys. And we go down to upgraded. Okay, this. So it still says standalone ship Drake Dragonfly ride together 2-pack. Oh, that's not it. What one is it?
Yeah, you actually have to return your ship and get store credit for it in order to buy it back.
I have them. I changed all these to the blacks. Okay, there we go. So it still says standalone ship Drake Dragonfly ride together 2-pack, but it says upgraded, and you can see that one says Cutlass red and the other one says Cutlass black. Okay, so these have been both upgraded, but it's still the same package. So when I go back in to my buybacks, I have Dragonflies that I can buy back, but you wouldn't have that in there because you haven't melted it. You've just upgraded it.
Yeah.
The buyback pledges, when you go here, only appear if you have melted the ships that are in there. So if you purchased them and then melted them like this, and then you have all these other crazy ships and stuff like that in there. Yeah. So hopefully that clears that up a little bit for you. Our next question is from Tovirus, and he asks, if you could influence the rework on the 300 series, what would you like to see changed?
Not much. I guess the interior needs some work.
I'm not that
I mean,
invested on the 300 series, so I'm happy with whatever they do.
I think that the 300 series are too multi-role. I'd like to see them a little bit more luxury looking. They're supposed to be a luxury ship, yeah?
Yeah, more along the luxury role and luxury side of things.
I mean, you can stick a size 3 weapon on the front, a load of missiles, and a load of weapons on there, and they're really good fighting ships. I want to see them more luxury. I want them to have downsides because of that. I want them to be producing really hot IR signatures because they've got more exposed engines or something. I don't know.
Something crazy.
I want luxury ships to go. Look at my luxury ship. It's cool. I've got neons and things. But
yeah, and you're gonna want to shoot the thing down.
Yeah.
I
want. Yeah.
Sniffle Wizard said a bathroom in the 315. I need to poop on long trips. Makes sense.
Yeah. Leo Ocelot asked, do you guys think towards the end of the year that they will develop more of the Tavaran race and push work on the Tavaran Prowler at least early next year? Just haven't heard about it, but love the idea of it. I think they're still working on the overall race style guide.
They're working on.
I think they're working on the style guide of some of those races so they can start to fill those out. But I don't think those are things we're going to see in the first episode of Squadron 42. So they still have a while that they're going to be able to work on those things.
Mm-hmm.
Our next question is from Manigal RES. Game design with regards to accomplices. Do you think those who support pirates will be flagged by the UEE as a pirate? If so, how far removed from crime is enough for the UEE to deem it legal? A Caterpillar pilot who picks up a raiding party or stolen goods might be an obvious pirate, getaway pilot, for example. But what about a merchant buying or selling fuel, equipment, or ships to pirates? If a mechanic repairs the getaway Caterpillar, is he also guilty of piracy? Can the game designers make it illegal to do business or otherwise help pirates?
So, I think that this is going to be fine to do and trade with pirates and stuff in areas of space that are unmonitored.
Yeah.
If you do it in a monitored area.
I think they're going to do it is if you are in the ship when they are actually doing the piracy is when you get that sort of stuff in the monitored areas.
Mm-hmm.
If you're just selling them things or buying things from them or repairing or refueling or doing whatever, as long as you aren't with them while they're doing said illegal activities, then you're fine. I mean, it makes sense.
In monitored space, obviously. Yeah.
It's like, okay, does a 7-Eleven attendant get charged with a crime because, or a Walmart attendant because they sold the bullets to a criminal? No, right?
No, yeah.
That doesn't make sense. So I would imagine that, what if you didn't know? You know, what if you didn't scan them to see what their criminal rating was or whatever? Because we know that's going to be a thing.
There might be laws and procedures that you have to follow in monitored space, though. So you might have to scan the ship. There might be rules to trading in monitored space.
Yeah, maybe.
You don't follow.
But outside of monitored space, then whatever. And I don't know how often pirates are going to be hanging out in monitored space anyways.
True.
Grizz Warmace asks, you already asked Twerk this morning. Ursa is a combat vehicle. Can it be insured?
I would assume yes, but people are saying why no insurance on it. So I don't know.
I don't know.
The Ursa
they're not
was
selling
one of
it
the
as
things
a
I
ship.
just haven't looked at much yet.
I think they sell it as an extra.
Lifetime insurance. It comes with lifetime insurance in the Aquila.
What if you buy it by yourself though?
No, so I don't think it should come with insurance because it's already been effectively sold in a sale before. You see what I mean?
But it has 0 months insurance. There's no insurance on it at all.
It does have 0 months insurance.
Whereas every ship at least has 2 months.
It might have been just like an oversight.
It may have been an oversight. It may be because it's not sold as a ship and it's sold as an extra.
Because
much like the Grey Cats, right? The Grey Cat doesn't either.
We don't know. We'll find out in an FAQ, I'm sure.
Windlord says it inherits the insurance of its mothership. That might make sense.
Maybe.
No,
but that doesn't make sense either because you can put it in whatever you want. And what if you swap it in between ships or something? That doesn't make sense.
True, and how
it's gonna need its own insurance. I'm sure they'll figure that out when that comes in. Kazu asked Twerk17, have you accepted the Star Citizen logo tattoo as a part of your body for now and forever?
For now, yes. But it's slowly coming off. Little bits of it are coming off. I don't know if you could see it, but little bits, like right there.
That one we kind of answered. Adrian asks, hey guys, I've tried to ask you this question before, but you missed it. How do you feel about all players being able to use all weapons to their maximum capabilities? Would you prefer it if you had to have required skills to use certain weapons efficiently, kind of like Entropia Universe, if you've played of it? So this is where overclocking comes in.
Yeah.
So overclocking comes into, and this is sort of a skill that you'll have to learn. We don't know how they're going to do it or what the gameplay mechanics behind it are, but we know that you're going to be able to do things like output the power or the fire rate or the heat signature or the cooling or whatever. You'll be able to modify those stats in one way or another. Based on like actual weapons, it's all about how good do you aim, how good is your reflexes, how good is that stuff.
Yeah.
There's nothing going to be like, oh, this is a weapon and so everybody's the exact same with it. Some people are really good with a sniper rifle. I don't use one, so I'm probably shit with it. Whereas I'm really good with a P4AR. You know, some people aren't very good in handling the recoil and hate it. So it's all based on real skill levels at that point, if that makes sense. Ray Fighter asks, what do you think about the idea that small ships would fly more like airplanes and huge ships turn like you would suppose, like yaw and things like that? This would also be amazing in third-person views and, of course, on YouTube. I'm not right. I think... I'm not sure what this question is asking. I think it's more of like the aerodynamics. Like the Aurora versus a Gladius, maybe, in Planetside? And in that case, I mean, it just sort of makes sense. Yeah, I don't really understand the question. So that's what I'm going to say. That's what it is, and we're going to move forward.
Pretty ships. Woo!
Yeah, I mean, big ships should...
Hey, guys, let's go ride bikes. 12 Count asks, with the new rendered video shown in the dashboard for landing, what other applications would you like to see those videos used in? Well, you could use all kinds of things. You could use a web browser, right? Like an actual web browser, and put it in game and have it so you can stream in video content or whatever from just for that player or whatever in that area.
Better for in between chat of ships.
Yep.
Just communicating like that.
Communicating back and forth. Missions and stuff like that we saw. Yeah. Little mini games. You could do, right?
Mini games would be great.
You could put in
Hyper Vanguard Force in your ship.
Yeah, Hyper Vanguard Force in your ship. Exactly what I was gonna say.
Sick.
Nick Vladnas, Twerk17. Did you explore Europe or go back home as soon as Gamescom ended?
I did a little tiny bit of exploring. What was it? Sunday night. So I had to leave Monday very, very early in the morning. I had to get up before 6 a.m. German time to make sure I caught my train to the airport. So I stayed out with Sergeant Gamble, Ichiru UK, Supreme Tokyo, and one of their mods, Greyhound. And I hung out with them pretty late that night and had a good time. And then there was supposed to be a light show at that big cathedral, but we missed it. So I didn't get to see Europe or actually anything outside of like the small area around us in Cologne, just because of logistics. Like we always had to be somewhere. Right. That was one of the only kind of disappointing things, it was great and disappointing at the same time, is there was always a Star Citizen event at almost every moment of the day. It would have been really great if there wasn't sometimes to just kind of go out and do your own thing and actually like go to a German bar and meet German people and talk to German girls. But we didn't, like, there was just no time, you know? The girls were gorgeous, though, there. Holy crap.
I'm actually a Star Citizen streamer.
Kills America.
I am. Yeah.
It was insane how good-looking the women were there. Insane.
Well, Twerk has already confirmed, and we have this on recorded video, that me and Twerk are starting a streamer house in Germany.
Yeah.
Streamer house.
Streamer house. Yeah. Oh, yeah. House of Games. Darkest Mind asks all of us, if they decide to put you as a content creator into the game, will you be sad if they don't allow you to use your own likeness? Should you have been intending to make your player character to look like yourself?
Oh, I don't think like with the customization that you can ever make it look as close to you as if they put your face in game the way that they have it.
I don't know, man. I don't know, man. Some of those customization options for some games do allow some crazy stuff. And we know that looking at like the Black Desert stuff, then we know that they are very much paying attention to that. So who knows if you're going to be able to do that yourself, but I don't know. I don't know. Like, we know that you, I think we've all hit at least the 1 year as a subscriber, right? All three of us.
Yeah.
So that means that we get to put an NPC pirate in the game.
Mm-hmm. Now it says any. It doesn't even say pirate anymore. It says your name will be in the game somewhere.
Okay.
I just looked at it today.
That's the new one. That's the new one that replaced it.
That's the new one that replaced
the pirate thing.
Yeah. So there's still a pirate for the people that originally had that, I believe.
Yeah.
It's just the new one is.
Yeah.
Because otherwise, too many pirates.
Well, there you go. So yeah, would be interesting to see how much we have on that influence for that. Do we get to create the character, name it, and then they take it from there, or do you just name it, or what?
I don't know.
No.
But the original head scan
in game though.
Yeah.
The original head scan looks very much like me when I've shaved, and I mean, I think I could very easily make my own literal likeness in game with very little effort.
Yeah.
I look like a fucking egg. I mean, it's going to be pretty easy for me.
07 Kazu asks, since we are getting big content patches soon, at what point can we say Star Citizen is in beta?
When there's all the features.
I would say beta is when all the content or all the mechanics are in. Not necessarily polished and finished, but when we have salvaging and all the mechanics that they want in, the farming, all this stuff that they are like, okay, now we are just creating more content, creating more missions, creating more areas. Once the actual mechanics are in.
Beta's just a name. Beta's just a name for me. I mean, it's going to almost certainly be that beta when they've got the world done.
For me,
and they just want to test it a lot.
For me, how I understand betas are when it is feature complete. They are now doing optimizations, and this is thing like SLI and all of that other stuff, putting in all those different menu options and whatever, and balancing. So this is a lot of the balancing of all the numbers for the economy, balancing things for like the shields and the weapons and all of that other stuff. So basically, when everything is in and they're balancing things out, and they could also be adding planets and stuff that aren't in there, like adding more assets. But all it's feature complete is what beta means to me.
We can play the game effectively.
Yeah.
In some form.
As it was intended to be played.
Tovirus, do you expect gravity on all planetoids will be the same?
No. And I feel like that's just like a number to change, right?
Yeah, actually, I think it's fairly easy to change in CryEngine for like how high you jump and things like that with that. I think that's something that's in there.
Nice.
I know it is with other engines. I don't know. I would imagine it's something they can just.
It is.
Be able to
the local
change.
physics grids, they can change it because they have that on the Vandal ships, for example.
Right.
Gravity generators and stuff. The Vandal ships that we will almost certainly be assaulting in Squadron 42, and just that's an assumption there. You're going to be jumping around. I mean, some of the motion capture stuff we saw was of Vandal jumping around.
Right.
So that's on low gravity. So,
would having Twerk going to a convention as Trixie make a good bet? It would. It would.
It would not.
It would.
Actually, I would fit in because I would just be a cosplayer and I'd be like, "Hey, ladies, want to take a picture?"
Uber Nerd, and that was from CH Wheel. Uber Nerd asked, "Do you think that all planets will be fully explorable in 3.0? Microtech, the hostile planet; Hurston, the industrial pollution planet; ArcCorp, the total city planet. In their city building tech, in a quick interview with BMB the other day, Brian Chambers indicated that their city building tech is much better than before, where artists and designers can literally paint cities on a surface of a planet and have a ready zone with few tweaks. They said all planets were going to be in. So
that might mean that I still
level?
think that means that they'll be there and you can fly to them, but maybe you can go to a Port Olisar type station around them.
I think there are going to be landing zones almost certainly on each of the planets, but they might not be fully fleshed out. In fact, they won't be fully fleshed out.
I don't know. I think they're further ahead than we think.
They always are further ahead than we think, right?
Yeah,
so
this is
hopefully.
True.
That'd be great.
Hopefully, yeah.
Twerk 17, this is from the Broccoli. When you were playing 2.5 on an empty fresh server, what was the performance like?
Pretty good,
Yeah.
but it still had some.
It's better
like,
now,
little
even.
hiccups.
Now it's even better.
Yeah, I think it's almost as good as what I played in this morning's build. So that's a really good sign for 2.5.
Second question, and kind of related, from Chalkma. Do you know what kind of PC specs you are using at Gamescom?
Not much. I just know we were using like the Intel. Oh, you do? Then you go for it. I don't know what CPU you were using. I know we were using 10 or 980s.
980 Ti's, weren't you? In your, it was 980 Ti's in your rigs, and then the actual 3.0 demo rigs were 1080s with 12-core processors.
There you go.
So yeah, you know more than I do.
Some of my articles.
Was there more info on the rovers that and has Chris Roberts or anyone said 3.0 ready? I think they're ready for 3.0. I mean, it looked pretty good. We saw the inside of them. We saw the outside of them. They would probably need their damage states.
They haven't
and they may be ready. It's
I haven't seen anything written.
There's no reason for them to be in the game at this point because you couldn't do anything with them.
They're not confirmed that we have the Dragonfly and the Urza for 3.0, but they look ready, didn't they?
Yeah.
This question doesn't make any sense, but I'm going to ask it anyways. Do you think 3.0 is possible without Star Network 2.0? No. I don't know. I don't. No. It's 3.0 is coming with 1.0. Well, Bearded asks, what is the benefit of ground transportation versus taking a spaceship?
Well, that's what we were talking about earlier. There needs to be something to repel spaceships.
They need to make it so spaceships can only land on flat surfaces that is big enough for the spaceship.
Turrets that can shoot them, possibly buildings that go underground, valleys and stuff. They won't be able to get near.
Or maybe add some sort of fuel mechanic or something for a reason for you not to do it.
Yeah, atmospheric fuel. Yeah, atmospheric flight fuel being more of a toll on them.
Surge MMO wants to know, BoredGamer, did I see a man-sized cage in the background when your green screen fell?
No.
Scream twice if you're being held hostage by BoredGamer and you can hear me.
He can't hear. He can't hear. He's farming Alpha UEC for me right now.
What kind of question was that?
Okay, we're gonna ask two more questions here. Two more questions. One from Space Herpy. Planetary gravity. We already answered this.
Yeah.
So I can skip that. Hikari asks, how do you think our personal hangars will work / will be located?
I don't know.
We'll get to choose the planet, and it'll go on the planet. Or, in the case of the VFG Industrial, you choose an area, and then it'll replace this asteroid.
Yeah.
There's gonna be, the asteroid belts are huge. So that's going to be easy for those ones. And the planets are large, so they'll be able to put those basically wherever they want. Big Bad Fish asks, in the demo, what did you think of the Mission Giver's animation, especially the strange eye movement?
I didn't think it was that strange.
I also didn't think it was finished.
Yeah, it's not finished. It's not polished.
Yeah. All right, two more.
It was awesome.
Repels asks, what do you guys think about the competitive element in the FPS part of the game? One of the thoughts that come to mind is the tick rate and what it is in Star Citizen. Seeing the latest Overwatch change to a higher tick rate. We don't know. We're gonna have to find out how the new network does everything.
Yeah, I think in Overwatch it was 20 ticks on a server, which was not appropriate for any form of gaming. Yeah, we just don't know what 2.6 and what tick rates and stuff we're going to have yet. Just don't know. Yeah.
And our last question from Zorky. You guys were talking about having the video feed for Quest being an actual live feed from the Quest Giver. They were. I was not. I'm guessing that won't be the case, is just his opinion. But how cool would it be letting players be able to cam chat, quote unquote, with each other? For example, showing a friend of yours a live feed of your new base you found. And that is something actually...
VoIPing over it.
Yeah, and that is something they've actually talked about before, where it would use, if you had a webcam, you would be able to use that feed within the game, and it would do something like how they do with Face Rig. They had talked about that before. I don't know if they're going to do it, But it
Okay,
said there was
run-
something they were investigating.
Run with me here. I'm going to talk about something totally crazy. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
What if we are going to have picture-in-picture in our ships, and we're going to have mouth movements to do with VoIP, so that we can actually see our
that's
mouth
what they were
movements when
saying.
we do VoIP in the pictures on the camera. That's going to be amazing. I think that. Do you think that's what they could be showing at CitizenCon? Why they've been a bit cagey about VoIP?
Maybe. I don't know if that would be in the first implementation of it. I think
it could be though. It was in Half-Life.
Yeah.
In the original Half-Life, they had similar tech.
Yeah. But it's just like it's either using the sounds coming in to do the animation, or using a camera feed and just a basic, like, look at what phones are able to do, right? With being able to put things over and things like that. So, and that's just with video. They can do it by video as well, depending on the tech that they use. It really depends if they even do it at all.
Please be that. Please be that for VoIP. Just VoIP in general would be amazing. But crazy VoIP, where your character's talking, that would be amazeballs. Oh.
So that wraps it up for this week of Redacted. Twerk17, what are you up to this next week, and where can people find you?
So you guys can find me here on this channel right here. So if you haven't done it yet, hit the follow button, please. Woo! That'll help me out. I will continue streaming from 6 a.m. till 10 a.m. Go longer if I can. My work week does start tomorrow, so I'm back to work tomorrow. So streams will definitely be ending at 10. Besides that, some Star Citizen, mixing in Deus Ex, as well as Alien Isolation I'd like to finish. So yeah, pretty excited about that.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, that's what I'm up to. Yeah. And hopefully 2.5 goes live and we can all play together, man. It's going to be awesome.
Oh, man. Yeah.
There you go.
You can also find me at Twerk17 Gaming on Twitter, as well as the same name on YouTube. I did put up a bunch of vlogs from Gamescom, so if you want to see like kind of a little behind the scenes stuff, it's really just like B-roll with music on it, but it's cool. Architecture, stuff like that. It's neat.
Twerksy Nice, that is his new name.
Yep.
Vlog
17.
And BoredGamer, what are you up to this week, and where can people find you?
You can find me at BoredGamer UK, pretty much on all the social medias and on YouTube, which is my main area of influence for lots of Star Citizen-based videos. I am going away tomorrow to I-58, which is the Insomnia Gamer Festival that I talked about earlier. So if you are around in that area, we're doing a Star Citizen meetup. Even if you don't have an I-Series ticket, you can still come to that. I'm sure it will be talked about on ATV tomorrow, hopefully. And I'll put a link in the description of the video and all that sort of jazz as well. I'm very much looking forward to that. When I come back, I'm going to be a total sellout whore and start doing merchandise and promoting my Patreon. So be prepared.
There you go. Prepare your anus
for
BoredGamer.
Get your hashtag sellouts together.
Is going to.
What about you, Soros? What are you
gonna get him ready?
Up to?
Okay, so this Sunday I have a Vancouver Twitch meetup that I'm doing. I'm gonna be doing some interviews for that, so I'll be hosting that, and you guys will be able to check that out on my stream or on the Twitch Vancouver channel. Next week I go to PAX West. And this is basically when everything is all crazy and I'm in and out of the country like every other week. So if you're going to be at PAX West or TwitchCon or CitizenCon or anything like that, and you want to meet up for drinks, I'm happy to meet up with everybody and anybody. Just shoot me a DM on either Discord or Twitter, and we can start to arrange things and I can figure stuff out. Mondays, like I said, I'm going to be doing the Table of Terror on the Stacey Roy's channel. We're doing Stranger Things, like the parallel thing. It's a ton of fun. And we're gonna have some things that are gonna make it even more interactive with you guys. Right after this, I'm gonna be streaming. I'm gonna be giving away a Dragonfly to start with. I also have a possible Terrapin we're gonna be giving away. I have a secret for a secret thing that I'm gonna be working towards that I think everybody's gonna be really excited about. It's something, I will hint, it's something I've wanted to do for a while, and it is something I want to do in real life. So.
Ooh.
Use your brains.
Before we go, though, I forgot one thing.
Oh, shit.
I'm going to Florida Bar Citizen in a couple weeks. It's in Orlando. I'm going to post the Discord in the chat. If anybody's from Florida, join that Discord, RSVP, all that good stuff. It's got all the information there. So I am going. Some Brickyard's going. I think Gray Head of Gamer is going to be there. There's going to be
a bunch of you guys
DJ Nights going. So it's like a lot of content creators and fans. So yeah, there you go.
Very awesome. Yeah, so we're going to be doing that. That's going to be right after this. That Dragonfly giveaway and the Terrapin and all of that other stuff will be open to everybody, like all of my giveaways. You can find me on twitch.tv/WTFosaurus and on the Twitter at WTFosaurus. You can join our Discord by going to discord.gg/redacted. Love all you guys. We will see you next Wednesday. Take care, and I'll see you in like 3 minutes.
Bye, guys.
All right, guys, take care.